Well, I think we're on. Yes, indeed. I think I'm ready for this one. I hope people are doing well this evening. It was a week of madness, another week of madness. The madness is going up, and well, it's time. I think we end the madness. I think it's time we stop the manipulation and violence. And last night's stream about the Supreme Court is maybe a timely stream, as though the Americans are going through another civil war, dragging the rest of us down through it. Canada certainly wants to be part of this one. Apparently, Justin Trudeau wants to, virtue signal Canada all the way down to hell. Hey, it's Meatbags. How are you doing, Meatbags? Welcome. How are things with you? How are things? This is the question. The plantation is still out there. It still exists, and it's still going to eviscerate men. And now when there's more challenges and more, cancel culture and more just letting the plantation run right over men. But you never know. Something good may come of this. And we're going to have to wait and watch and listen. Find out which is the best direction to go in. I think there's ways to successfully navigate this confusion, this time of confusion. And the last thing you want to do is to put yourself in a situation where you're not free to navigate this and go here or go there, or stay here or stay there, take this job or move on to state. They're talking about forced vaccinations now. We knew that would happen, but this is going to be a transhumanist agenda. They're going to turn men into machines. And okay, maybe the young men don't mind. Okay, maybe this is just the way it has to be for some other purpose, and they're just going to leverage this confusion to do it. But this is the violence. This is the manipulation. In a little bit, in a lot, via law, via just straight ahead, gun against the head. So, best thing to do is to understand that the march of history moves on, just as they're ripping history down all around. Take down this statue, rip up this. I don't know why somebody wants to rip down Churchill, but apparently someone does. So, if they're willing to rip that much history down, and it's recent, and it's, what's going on with the UK, it seems to be finished. And maybe it's just because it's successful. If it failed, if the UK remained as it was, in the year 1200, it was nothing. Even Europe didn't recognize it. It really wasn't anything. But it came up in terms of power, in terms of ability, and now people are picking on it. Okay. Nothing fails like success. And the same things happen with the United States. And because it's at the very pinnacle of success, people are trying to rip it down. Rip down the good, rip down the bad, and reinterpret everything. Try to forget. Maybe it's a great forgetting. Maybe it's a forgetting of the greatness, because when the shit comes, it's not going to be good. They want to forget about when it was good and why it was good. And it certainly wasn't good with men throwing men under the bus. This was never good. Hey, Mgtow Smurf, how are you? Nice to have you in here. Men were asking where you were in the last couple of days, and I said you were out having a wing-ding of a party. I don't know what it was, but I hope it was good. Heath Lawson, welcome. What's up? Well, seemingly, there's a new political party in the United States. It's called BLM/Democrat, and they're attempting everything to show themselves to be idiots. And at the same time, they got a legitimate grievance. And this legitimate grievance is causing so much confusion because people agree with some of it, and maybe they just want change and will take anything. And they're willing to put up with a little craziness if they solve some of the bigger issues. You know, if they want to stop the violence, I'm all for it. But they're ripping down history. That's not good. Hey, Mgtow Warrior, good to have you in. Good to have you in. Hope you're well. Hope you're well. Things are crazy. Things are crazy where you are. I know. Mgtow Smurf, good. Out doing everyday things. That's what you got to do. Keep your head and just take it day by day. Keep your plan in focus. See how you can benefit from this. Because some men are not going to. And this is the worry. So, somebody wants to manipulate men because it's all about men. Men are the ones that build. Men are the ones that create. Men are the ones that invent. And if you can control the men, and men are the ones who defend. So if you can control the men and pull them down, But, gun sales are through the roof. If you don't have one, maybe it's time to consider getting one or just get one. You got to get one and learn how to use it and know how to respect the power of death in your hand, because it's an implement of death more than any others. And hopefully it's going to be someone else's death. If they get a little too arrogant and think that they can just take from you without any consideration. So maybe it's not an implement of death; it's an implement of you got to consider me. So consider me or go away. And this protects people. You get some wing nuts, and maybe that wing nut will take out a couple of people, but good men are out there. Most men are good men, and they'll take you down. There's enough men that just say, no, you ain't going around shooting people. I'll shoot you, even if I maybe get shot. But this is responsibility. This is accountability. This is full transparency. And, that type of, standing up and saying, you're not going to cause trouble as long as I'm here. That type of presence, I think, is needed today. And the police certainly don't do that. They say, I'm here and you got to go through me. But then, Jimmy Dore, as I said, showed this video. The police jump out of this, big truck filled with riot gear and protection. And, this big guy with a big shield. And there's just two old guys on the street. On that side of the street, there's just two old guys just watching it. Old guys. We're talking 70 plus, And then this, young guy with all this gear pushes an old man with a cane. He had a cane in his hand. Just pushed him and he fell right away. Like, what in the hell is that? That's violence. That's violence against an old man with a cane. And that one in Buffalo, the guy seemed to be swiping. He was swiping the policeman's phone in order to get the code. Well, apparently this guy is a professional, a long time, protester. Maybe he thinks he's getting value by trying to protest. And again, there's violence through and through. The police have been doing violence since almost the beginning. And so he's trying to get this number. Well, why don't the police just give it to him? Why is this a secret? Does this need to be a secret? Why isn't there transparency? This is not best practice. These people are employees, and if they're doing something public, they should announce it to people. So if they're going somewhere, why don't they announce it to people? Why don't we have this degree of transparency? Why do people have to swipe to get this information? Why don't the police just come out and be reasonable people? Why do they have to have this secrecy? Well, maybe with some things they need secrecy, but not everything. So this guy was trying to get information that they should have been giving out. Maybe they think they have to keep a secret, but they're not thinking very much because they've been arrested men, throwing them under the bus for smoking pot. For how long? For what reason? Now it's apparently legal, so it's a non-arrestable action, which means it was always lawful. It was always lawful because nobody can make legal, something that's unlawful, that nobody can do that. You can't do that. If it's lawful, it's lawful. But you can, make it punishable. So all these police, during all these years of my entire life, were violent. And it went up to the courts, and the courts were violent. And now they're saying, oh, yeah, no, we won't be violent anymore. Well, where's the fucking apology for throwing all these men, destroying their lives, causing all this destruction, putting these black men in prison by the millions for something that now you won't do it? You people are assholes. And people are protesting? Sure. They're protesting the stupidity, the violence, and the throwing of men under the bus. And women too, sure. Yeah. Baptized in the fire of combat. Yeah. Well, that's, some people are saying that that's true. That, in some of these zones and inner cities where, the men have been brutalized by the police and by the system and by the handouts from the government and by the laws they make to punish, this action and that action. It's a vicious law of the jungle, apparently, in some places. But, if we're going to go into a full-scale war, which I don't think we are, I don't think that's going to happen. People aren't up for it. People are angry in a number of ways. People want to see change. And I think they want to stop the manipulation of violence of government. I think they want to stop the lies. We got the Karens out there, and the Karens, they're not all there. They're on psychiatric pills, most of them, and they're looking for 100% safety. But other people are saying, no, stop the manipulation, stop the violence, and stop the Karens from howling. Get off the pills and stop believing everything that the TV tells you, for God's sakes. These people have an agenda. Their agenda is to rage bait and to fear bait and to bring, to sell people to advertisers. They'll come to their station and be sold. Like, sell the sheeple to the advertisers. That's what it is. They're selling the sheeple to the advertisers. Yeah, sell me, sure. Yeah, sure, Karen. You're sold. You're bought and sold every day. And apparently the advertisers don't like Mgtow. Well, fuck them. But they also don't like Tucker Carlson for saying that the Black Lives Matter are nuts. And they are. They're going way too far. Some of the stuff makes sense. To stop the violence, stop the manipulation. One of the demands of the Chaz people in Seattle is to release everyone who's been only convicted of resisting arrest. Well, we saw what the Minneapolis police call resisting arrest. It's a guy who's handcuffed behind his back. So he's got his arms handcuffed behind his back. And, they drop him twice and then put him in the car. And then they say that he was kerfuffling around in the car. This reminds me, and I said it before, of that Monty Python movie, Quest for the Holy Grail, where, the King Arthur rides down to this small bridge, and the Black Knight is there saying, none shall pass. So they have a sword fight, and, King Arthur cuts off two of his arms, and the Black Knight still wants to fight. Well, how's he going to fight? And watching the Minneapolis police call this resisting arrest is like a Monty Python movie. The guy was hopping up and down, and King Arthur was there with a sword, and he was trying to, butt him, And so, King Arthur cuts off one of his legs and then the other one. And, the skit ends in this absurdity, as it always did with Monty Python, with, the Black Knight saying, get over here so I can bite you. And, King Arthur just rides off. And the Black Knight's, howling back, coward, running away. So this is This is what we see in resisting arrest from the Minneapolis police is an absurd Monty Python skit. And yet they believe it. They believe it. And this is the danger. They actually believe that that man with his arms handcuffed, who was known to police, who was known, everyone knew his name, they knew where he fucking lived if they wanted to. They knew, where he was supposedly supposed to work. They knew all of this. And yet they're making a big deal of it. Holy shit. Yeah. The guy, he was smart enough to have a car, I guess, and smart enough to, get around life pretty well. Checkered past, I guess. But they think he's that stupid to pass, foreign currency in his own neighborhood in a store with a camera and a till that can assess, forgeries. My God help us. The police think people are so stupid. No, they don't even. They just want to beat people up. So, manipulation of violence. Yeah. Who do you trust? Who do you trust? Well, you gotta find that out. And reality. There is a truth to reality. Reality is the final arbiter. It is, but your assessment of it is very different. Your assessment of what that is, whether it's dangerous, whether it's safe. This type of assessment, this is very fluid. And if you assess that the government is helpful, you got a problem. We see that now. They just closed down the economy. We're not out of that. This is what I fear. I'm looking at the economic news, and it was bad even before this. This may be the killer, and not only for America. There's going to be a price to pay for this. You can't be giving $1 trillion out every month, most of it going to rich people, and think that nothing's going to happen. Like this is highly demotivating, and ultimately this is part of a demoralization of the entire community of the West. Demoralized. You lose hope, you lose trust. We should get into this demoralization, because that's a battle you have to fight against becoming demoralized. And in fact, on that topic, I'll bring up this week's. I found an article. I'll bring up an article. And where am I? Oh yeah, what am I doing here? There. Let's get things happening. Oh yeah, there we are. Oh, right, I didn't do it. Let me do it right now. Yeah, a recent article coming out about men not having the amount of sex that they had in the past, and it's pretty freaking obvious, right? So I had some trouble downloading it, so there we go. So yeah, this is an article by someone Joseph and Ankar someone. Maybe I should make it bigger. I can't see it. Anyway, it says it's a 3-minute read. It ain't much more. Young U.S. men having a lot less sex in the 21st century study shows. There we go. And from Reuters, sexual activity among young American men has declined sharply since 2000. Yep. That's what it is. With nearly a third reporting no sex with a partner in the prior year. Yeah. And that came out in a previous study as well, so this study confirms that. According to a study published on Friday, and they don't link to that study. This is Reuters. These people are bastards. And who's ever, I guess, health news. Why don't they just link to it so we can read it ourselves? Oh, they want to spoon feed us the information. fucking anyway. Um, well, they give the name here, JAMA Network Open, something. The trend is concerning. Now here is the manipulation, and they put it right up at the top, so you get it. The trend is concerning as sexual relationships are important for well-being and health, comma, researchers note. What researchers? The researchers in the study? No, that wasn't in their purview. This was just to measure sexual activity, not to give any type of, mumbo jumbo on top. And this is the gynocentric system trying to, keep men on the plantation. Oh, you're gonna have sex, or somehow you're going, you're not going to be well-being or healthful or something. And this is the manipulation. It's right there at the top. So they put it in there. Well, there's lots of men who don't, and they're fine, and they're great. So this is that kernel of an idea, the inception that they want to put in, and make sure that people think that there's some problem with this. Well, there wasn't a problem in the 1800s or before. There was just a problem after the gynocentric system wanted to ensure that men are yoked to their biological drives. But once you get control of that, it's done. The problem with the well-being and health is that you think that something is wrong with you, and that's what I went through. I thought there was something wrong with me. And, I made it through, without driving myself nuts. But maybe I was lucky, and that's why Mgtow is great. No, there's no problem in not having it. And, you don't have it, and then you do, and then you don't again, whatever. It doesn't matter, It's like sometimes you're in a place with lots of sunshine. Well, you get a lot of sunshine for a while, and then you don't. Then you do again, and that's just it. You need some sunshine to be happy, and once in a while you got to rub it out, and you do, and that's fine. And this is no big deal, and yet they want to make it a big deal. And this is what we're seeing. This is the manipulation. And anyway, the survey found 1 in 3 men, was also on the rise among men and women aged 24 to 34. Yeah. So women aged 24 to 34. Now, down below, and then they gave possible reasons. Well, we know the reasons. Men are waking up. And then they say, here, there are many more choices of things to do in the late evening than there once were. Fewer opportunities. We have social media, electronic gaming, or binge watching, and other things. Joining in on a Mgtow live stream. Hey, that's a great thing to do. Sure. Lots of things to do. This is just one thing among many. Why even bother? Going out, spending money, wasting money, trying to get it. What's all that? That's just a waste of time. Better play games. I like that. I like playing games. I used to do it, back in the very beginning. I really just like to play Civ. And I balanced that with, doing my studies at university. And going out occasionally, having a beer with the men, At the philosophy department, great guys to talk to, of course. And always interesting conversation. Sometimes too much, it's just, whoa. Anyway, and so sexual activity down below here, we have another statement. Sexual activity was largely unchanged among unmarried women. There's what we call riding the cock carousel. There we go. So unmarried women have no problem. They're just having it with fewer men. They like the 20% top men because they're already Chad widows, right? They think they can get the prince. They think they can get the guy with the Maserati. They think that they're worth it. And in some way they are, because, it doesn't matter. Young women are attractive, they're eye candy, and so it really doesn't matter to men. I don't care whether you have a degree. I don't care whether you're smart. I don't care about any of that. I do want to be comfortable, so if you make me comfortable, I feel happy, but, so what? The rest of it, I don't care. Unmarried women, they're interchangeable. So, I think they know that, too. And so, it's no problemo for an unmarried woman to have sex. And, That's just the way it is. And they also say there's no notable decline among gay men. Well, of course, who cares? Okay. Men who were unemployed or had lower income were more likely to be sexually inactive. That is because below given a preference for men of higher socioeconomic status. Yeah, there you go. There's part of the bundle of aggregate resources. And so this is monkey branching. This is hypergamy. And, they're just confirming, Mgtow's assessment. But they're not using Mgtow terms yet. Y-E-T. Here we go below here. Higher income could mean more resources to search for partners. No. See, now they're turning it around. No. To search for? No, you don't need to search for a partner if you're a millionaire. The partners come out of the woodwork. So anyway, this is another confirmation that men are becoming Mgtow in droves, and this is what did they do? It's it says 10,000 men and women aged 18 to 44. So it's obviously including married men, and maybe that didn't change. The only thing that changed was unmarried heterosexual men. And so this is the path. The married men, they may become divorced, and we'll see about that. And they're still blue pilled, right? A lot of men who become single after a divorce remain blue pill, and then they go for it again, and then they go for it again until they just realize, no, there's something wrong, and it ain't me. And yeah. So anyway, that's a pretty standard article and manipulation of men. Yeah, the trend is concerning. Oh, it's concerning. Oh, it's important for your well-being and health. No, fuck off. It's not. It's concerning for women who now don't have men to fend for them and give money to them and keep them amused. Oh, please come over and amuse me. I'm sitting here doing nothing and I have an empty brain, so you must come over and amuse me. Yes. So, anyway, we've got the outline of the plantation. We've got the violence of the Supreme Courts. We've got the manipulation of the social narrative, and we've got the little kernels of misinformation that they put out and trying to be informative. Well, no, they're trying to engineer. And they see a problem, and there is a problem. The West is dying. They're importing people, and these people who are coming in, either immediately or first generation, think that, my God, it should be perfect, and it wasn't perfect. Why? Because they put idiots in the Supreme Court. You don't realize how vicious and idiotic some of these men were they put in the Supreme Court, and not only America but Canada. So anyway, there we are. So this is more things happening that hey, Busta Hyman, Mgtow, you got a stimulus check? Really? Holy shit. No, Aaron. No, that's the whole thing. If men are not having sex, wouldn't the woman not? No, you know that. They're riding the carousel. One woman can do what 7 guys in a day, half a day, third of a day. Yeah. It's no problemo. Yeah. Slam bam, thank you, ma'am. He leaves, she goes back down, gets another one. That's it. All day long. We can do it all day long. We can do it all day long. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Hey, Cyber. How are you? Wow. Wow. YouTube suspended you again, those pricks. Those absolute pricks, man. I don't know. Wow, you got one. Jeez, man. Time to go out and party. I don't know if it's enough for that, but, you know, most of the money is being kept by the, 1% at the top, but you're getting something. I don't know. Uh, as I say, good men, take what you can now, because I don't see good things happening. Economically, they can't keep this up, and there's going to be a price to pay for this. But yeah, wow, nice channel. You've been putting up as per normal, great videos. It's been funny as hell. My God, I like making comments on your videos. Yeah, because it's nuts. We're right in the very heart of the insanity, and you reveal it better than most. My God, my God. Anyway, it's all around the world. It's all around the West, actually. Some of the world is not insane. Some of the world, they're struggling by the normal path, and this is a funny time. So we got to pull together. We got to make sure young men feel confident about the path they're going on. No, thank you, thank you. It's great entertainment. I think YouTube should be paying you money, not banning you. My God. And well, this is it. This is the way it works. It's a gynocentric system we're operating on. There doesn't seem to be any others. They came out of the gates first, and I think that means a lot in this type of system. Facebook was out, and now, so many people are on it, and they're getting enraged, and they're not very educated. They don't know about history, and they're very doctrinal, right? If you at all, uh, were engaged in slavery, then everything you did was bad. Oh, okay. You can't have any sophisticated, lived experience. It's got to be, this or that. This is sort of like an autistic view. Autistic people aren't very sophisticated in their understanding of other people and their motivations. And in some ways, it's also not Christian. There's some good things about Christianity where redemption is possible, that you're able to redeem yourself. But in intersectionality, the person who can claim to be the most beat up has the loudest voice. Well, maybe that's not right. Maybe it's the person who's able to be redeemed should have the loudest voice. So, yeah. Inflation, deflation. Apparently, that's the same thing. And it's I got it. I had the idea the other day, and I forgot it. But I was able to see with the most recent shifts in monetary behavior by Federal Reserve and other central banks, that there's something about the movement of the value of money, and whether it's inflation or deflation, it's just this movement, and this movement is now destructive. It's being manipulated by too many people, and there's danger. So ensure that you have a diversified portfolio, one that can handle both inflation and deflation, and that if something bad like hyperinflation happens, that you still have some value to ride on until something reestablishes itself. And even if there is hyperinflation, it doesn't mean the end of the world. It's a removal of all savings in that currency. So if you have savings in a different currency, well, you might be okay. until um, you're able to earn money again, and that'll continue to happen, right? The world will go round, and people will work and make money, and money's just a term for resources and stored resources. Yeah. You think it's low IQ, aggressive men are changing the system? I think looking at the Supreme Court of the 1850s, we had a lot of low IQ men in there, and they were aggressive, and they did try to change the system, and they wound up showing themselves to be, low IQ, aggressive men, and horrible. The one decent man quit, Curtis, Benjamin Curtis. He quit the court in the mid 1800s after the Dred Scott decision. He couldn't work with them. They was, too stinky evil. So, he certainly wasn't low IQ. Curtis, Benjamin Curtis. And today, we've got the same sort of low IQ people. They're not. I don't think they know how to prioritize. They want to socially engineer, and they don't mind the manipulation. They think the manipulation is no good or natural or something, and they'll let the violence happen just to socially engineer. And what happens is too many people get thrown in jail. Too many people have their lives destroyed for no good reason at all. Yeah. I like that, Joey. I like that. That we have a visible spectrum, and we also maybe have a mental spectrum, and we can only either think or reason within this narrow band. And if you put something outside of that band, people don't see it, and thus it tricks the mind. I think I noticed that in that article, where they put the researcher's note. It's not for well-being and healthful, right? But that's how they trick it. That's the misinformation. That's the inception of the idea to make you feel bad. And you read the article and you don't know why you feel bad if you're a man not having sex. But that's what they did. And maybe you would be one of those who would read that because of the title. And then they stick that in there. It's like a knife. And you don't feel it go in. So, yeah. So you got to be very careful about what you read and when someone is trying to manipulate you. Researchers note, well, who in the hell put that in? Probably one of the female writers of that Reuters article. This is let's name that researcher and find out, or researchers. Who are they and why are they saying this? Because it's not true. And so this is just more of the same, right? It's more of the same. Trying to stick something in outside the visible range. You're not expecting it, right? You're not expecting to be attacked, to be ambushed with this. You're expecting a factual argument, not an inception of a destructive idea. So, yeah, these people are evil. Maybe they don't know what they're doing. Maybe they just put it in. Maybe the editor put it in. I don't know. They got some agenda. It's a gynocentric agenda. We have to make the women feel wanted and needed in the community. But they're not now. And they're tolerated. Karens are tolerated. And some of them are performing a task, but that task is getting so distasteful that people are looking for someone else to do the task. A lot of it's just bringing people in from other countries. That seems to be the main way to handle the task that women used to handle. But in the long run, I think we're going to see the Karens get off the pills. I think they're recognizing that they're being rage engineered into places maybe they don't even want to go. So, this is the thing with Facebook and Twitter. They pump up that rage. They get that rage going.
Charging battery.
And, evil grows in the dark. Yep, and I just put a new screen up on there comparing Mgtow with Incel. Incel had a spike of searches on Google, and it's been above Mgtow for since then, really. Not always, but most of the time. So there's a fear that Incel will continue to do bad things. They're not Mgtow. They should become Mgtow, but they're not. And that Mgtows will get painted with the same brush, and then be banned from YouTube, be banned from everywhere. But Mgtow are not Incel. Incel are not Mgtow, and we should try to make sure that that's true. Everyone knows it. So that when Incel do something bad, that it stays there. The thing to do is just recognize you're under attack and to take the steps you need to stay out of that attack and enjoy life. And there's a number of ways to enjoy life. So enjoy it in all of those ways. I mean, the world is a big place. I mean, it's big. It's big in size, and it's big in imagination, and it's big in the number of areas and directions you can go down. There's a million things to learn, and some of them are fun, and you get over a bad period, and then it gets really fun, and a lot of stuff. And it's in some ways it can be difficult even to manage your own life, and definitely you got to invest in yourself. You're right, Smurf. Right there. Yeah, this is part of a diversified portfolio. Put some money into your head. Put some money into what you know and what you can do. Maybe something theoretical and something practical. Invest in both directions. So take a course in philosophy and take a course in auto mechanics or something like that. And whatever your job is, put a CV out for like a practical job and then a theoretical job, something like that. Whatever. Be ready to move out of your industry into a new industry. This is part of a way to move ahead. And move ahead, don't move behind. But if you get a better offer in a different industry, well, maybe go for it. Figure you can do it for 3-5 years, something like that. Do a good job and move up in that. Maybe you can move up quickly and then get some new skills, right? Learn there, learn somewhere else. Don't overdo it. Take it day by day, take it step by step. Move ahead. Sometimes you get pushed back, take the push. Don't be worried. And if it gets really bad, well, that's it. That's life. That's life. Da 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 da. So somebody's going to push you back. You're going to lose. You're going to have a hard time. You're going to have to be fired. You're going to have to find a new job. Okay, that happens too. Yeah. Yeah. And we've got that great quote by David Hume, the great philosopher: be a philosopher, but amid your philosophy be still a man. And I think he lived a nice life. And in so many ways, he was Mgtow. He was aware of the wily ways of women, and he just didn't want to settle down in that way. So he didn't. And he was one of the great thinkers, really, of all time. And he let us know that we cannot see causality. This is part of our consciousness. This is the limitation of our consciousness. This is the limitation of whatever it is that latches on to universal consciousness and creates an individual consciousness, that we do not see cause and effect. We can test for it. We can get close to it, but we don't see it. We don't sense it. We have no sensibility to determine cause and effect. Now, a different consciousness may, and then it's a different consciousness. But I think humans have a sense of time. We can sense time going past. And this is our gift, one of the gifts of our consciousness. And so, maybe if you can detect the magnetic fields with the eye, maybe. I think if you can, and you start telling people you see that, then they call you crazy and give you drugs or something. So maybe it's best not to talk about it. And then if you don't talk about it, we don't know. But with the internet, we should be getting examples of this. And again, if you're not taught to see it at birth, or soon after birth, then maybe your brain doesn't develop the skills to see it at a young age. Whereas, we're taught, to tell time and to wait, and as humans, we deal with time, and time's important to us. So our brains create the structure to sense it. So we're into either a self-defeating prophecy or a self-fulfilling prophecy, at least with our sensation of time. But we've got a lot of features, fundamental features of the universe, laws of physics or laws of physical nature or laws of the foundation of this universe. And I'm not sure about magnetic fields or electric fields, whether this is some special structure, or whether it's just an outcome. But I'm still asking around wherever I can find anyone to tell me. And I've researched it as far as I can, and there's nothing yet. But someone to tell me what creates the magnetic field of Earth. Because the magnetic field of Earth is changing. The poles are moving rapidly. And so we're into a great magnetic field flux. And yet we don't know what causes Earth's magnetic field. So we're at a double disadvantage. So we think we know something about it, but we don't. All we're seeing is a symptom of something that's underlying it, and that's what's changing. So if we don't know what that is that's changing, and then changing Earth's magnetic field, we're in real trouble. It's like we're in double trouble. So, yes, and this is it, Mgtow Smurf. We are getting instruments to detect things, and this is a great advantage. We can see electromagnetic signals that through instruments that we can't see with the eye, like ultraviolet and infrared, and all of it, microwave. We can just measure it, and this is a great thing. And you shine it up, and you get to see that in fact there's something everywhere. There's something everywhere. It's not like there's blackness up there. No, there is basically a complete wall of electromagnetic energy up in that sky. A complete wall. And this feature, which is, I think a lot of people have known for a long time once they started to do it, but it's coming out that it's just a complete boundary of electromagnetic energy. And this is one reason that leads me to think that it's a Dyson sphere. And, nobody wants to talk about that because what it implies is something that may be unpalatable for a lot of people. But we're looking as if there's this complete boundary of electromagnetic energy up there. And the instruments are detecting it. There's no gaps between them. It's just like a complete it's just complete. So, this is the type of information we're at the very edge of the field of experience when we can look up and say, my God, it's just completely covered with electromagnetic energy. Completely covered. And this type of insight, this type of information is going to change, the way people think about reality. And so I foresee something happening because we're at the very edge of information there. We're at the very edge of information at the smallness of the atom and of the quarks. And we're at the very edge of the field of experience in terms of temperature. We can get down to absolute zero. And, we're at the very edge of approaching artificial intelligence, super artificial intelligence. We're at the very edge of so many things. The double slit experiment. My, oh my, we're getting to the very edge. And when we get to the edge, I think we're going to get into an insight that the universe is not quite what we've been led to believe it is. See, this is the whole thing. Magnetism is vastly stronger than gravity. And so is the force of the vacuum of and so the differential between the different measurements of the vacuum should overcome gravity, and it does. And so why do we still have an atmosphere? These are questions that nobody wants to talk about. So magnetism and the electromagnetic universe. They're calling it the electric universe or the plasma universe. Apparently the sun is a conduit for electricity. It does not create energy due to thermonuclear explosion, as Eddington had postulated back in 1920. Maybe he was well-meaning and thought he was smart, and he probably was, but he got it wrong, and everyone just jumped on the bandwagon. Oh, somebody smart answered it. We'll go with that. Yeah, it makes the most sense that we have, but it's wrong. There's too many things wrong with that theory. So ultimately, the sun seems to be a conduit for electromagnetism, coming from somewhere, becoming centralized in the sun, and then beaming out to us to create the great yellow thing. Or maybe, what color is the sun? Does anyone know? Holy shit! I think I asked this. When I was young, I thought it was yellow. Now people are telling me it's white. Did something happen that I didn't know about? Did somebody tell me? Did someone change the color of the sun? And anyway, I take a picture of it with a camera. Maybe I should do that. I'll search right now. So, picture of sun with camera. No, that's looking yellow. That was looking yellow. That's looking white, though, I gotta say. Yeah, that's sort of looking white. That's, sunset, it was looking more yellow. I suppose if it's high in the sky, on a blue sky, it looks white. I'm not getting good images, though. It's almost as though the sun is white and the sky all around it is yellow. Now I'll put a year in here, 1980. And now I'm just getting cameras. No. If anyone's got a picture of like the sun that they took with a camera in 1980 or something, let me know. Yeah. I did the math once. If the magnetic spectrum on a scale was 1,000 miles long, humans can only see 300 yards of it. Oh, really? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, on the visible light. Now, you seem to know something about this. I did some investigation into this based upon a recent experiment that people were doing. Uh, what's the sapphire experiment? I wonder if I can get it for you there. Sapphire experiment. The Sapphire Project. Sapphire. I guess it's with a F. Sapphire Project. Ah, there it is. So the Sapphire Project reactor generates the energy densities analogous to the sun's in a laboratory on Earth. There. That's a pretty clear introduction on the website. One more time. The Sapphire Project reactor generates energy densities analogous to the sun's in a laboratory on Earth. Yeah. Oops. Let's get back here. So, you may want to check that out some more. Anyway, in this experiment, what they needed was they needed a source of electromagnetism. So they put this ball in the middle. Then they needed gases. So they filled this chamber up with various gases. And then they had a pair of eyes attached to a human brain. And that's us. And so they put a camera in there. And we looked at it. And we saw light. And again, they were taking measurements of all of this, and they generated electrical densities, I guess they called it. And yeah, so they put it up there to test the electric sun theory, and it showed to be true. And there's another page that seems to be a good description of it. So, the electric universe is now being taken as the model by many people in NASA and other people that are doing papers on it. They call it the plasma universe, and they're defining plasma as an electrically charged ion or something like that, right? So in terms of visible light, it's an electromagnetic waveform, gases, and a human eye attached to a brain. But if you change the electromagnetic wavelength, like way up or way down, and you change the gases, then do you also allow visibility outside of that spectrum? I think you do, right? So neon, right, allows a different frequency to be seen or something. I don't know. But, I want a better definition of visible spectrum. Visible with what gases, with what wavelength. Change the wavelength, change the gases. Do I get to see it? I'm thinking yes. John Constantine, the moon is a plasma ball. Plasma meaning an ion, like an electrically charged ion. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I haven't been there. But I'm going to say, if it is, hell is only 8 miles under us. Yeah, 12. Is it? Oh, I guess it's 12 kilometers, right? They dug down 12 kilometers. Yeah. It may be hell or it may be heaven. I haven't been down there. I don't know. But a firmament of water. Oh, my. Yeah. Well, we may be underwater, but who built the firmament? Which I call the Dyson sphere, right? The Dyson sphere, which is a dome, right? A solid structure. Or is it natural? You're saying, I don't Yes, the moon is a plasma ball. Yeah. Again, I would say because of the consistency of the images on the moon, like the black spots, the craters, right? That it has to be something more consistent than ionized atoms, which is plasma, I think. Although plasma has so many definitions, I think they use it just to confuse people. Plasma, what the fuck is it? Yeah. Yeah, that's it, Joey, isn't it? Yeah. Sunlight is the full spectrum. Full spectrum dominance. Yeah, that's right. 7 colors. Indigo's my favorite. Yeah. Yeah, you get the prism, right? This is Newton. You take the white light, you take the prism, then you separate out all the colors. That's something to do. If you've got that bent for experimentation, you get the white light and you break it into the. I've seen it done, but I've never done it. And you get something more from doing it, but I've never gone down that road. So yeah, so I guess it is white. It's full spectrum. Yeah, yeah. There's 10 dimensions. Oh, 10. I'm not going to call them dimensions, right? Because they're not dimensions. They're layers, right? 10 layers. 7 heavens above us: earth, hell, and the abyss. Oh, I like it. Yeah, well, we've talked about the 7 heavens. Yeah. A lot of people have taken trips up to the seventh heaven: earth, hell, and the abyss. The abyss. Ah, yeah. Maybe so. I love it, Smurf. My favorite color is beer. I wonder if we can get a prism to break out that from the light. It's beer all the way down. Yeah. What's the abyss sitting on, John? A turtle? Is it on the back of a turtle, or is it on the foam on a glass of beer? And again, who created or what created, or how is it that we have 7 heavens, earth, hell, and the abyss? Yeah. Where did all this come from? I've read about the 7 heavens, and I look at them as other domes, other Dyson spheres. So you go from one Dyson sphere to another Dyson sphere, and you eventually get to a really nice one. Although I think this is the greatest one, but I mean a really nice one, and is one that's quite old, and developed, magical in technology, unbelievably magnificent in many ways. But yeah, yeah. I think it was the Russians, right? The Russians drilled down 12 kilometers, and then the bit just disintegrated all the time. Oh well. What's down there? What's down there? And you get a lot of earthquakes that happen at exactly that level. I mean, a lot of them. So there's something down there. And you look at the Mayotte event of November 2018, I think it was. That Mayotte event is still. Bad Max. Nice. Yeah, yeah, okay, John. The abyss is the lowest part of the deep ocean under hell. Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah. No, I don't see actually. But, yeah. And what's under the deep ocean? Again, what's under the deep ocean? So the abyss is the lowest part of the deep ocean, under hell, and what's under the deep ocean? Under the abyss. So yeah, Bad Max. You know that I say modern science has demonstrated that the Earth is flat, not that it's a globe. Modern science. So I think that and if you want to go with modern science, then it's flat. If you want to pass the bong, then it's a globe. So I flip it. Yeah, there may be a hell under us, but there's a name for that, like like the inner Earth thing, or I think the Buddhists said they went down there, and maybe they did. Yeah, but I don't know if it's hell, like a place for dead bodies. Maybe there is a river, Styx, and a boatman, but I don't think it's down there. Yeah. Yeah, you're right there. Now, I think that on a very clear day, I was in Port Elgin, New Brunswick, and I looked across and I saw Prince Edward Island as clear as a day, as clear as day. You could see it. On most days you couldn't because it was hazy and stuff. But on one day it was incredibly clear, and we were all out there looking. We went to Port Elgin quite a bit for summer holidays. One of my relatives had a lovely cottage there, right on the beach. And it was lovely. And yeah. Ah, hey, Stone Reaper, welcome. How are you? A majority of the big cities around the world are built on top of pre-flood cities. There is, all I'm getting is, yeah, there would be something like that. There was a deluge apparently, and it may not have been a water. The deluge, in a couple of things I've read, were not water, so it was something else. And it's easiest, I think, to describe to people that it was a flood of water, but it wasn't. It seemed to be a flood of electromagnetic energy, which stirred up things. Yeah, modern science, that's not clean money. Oh my God, we have a skeptic. Yeah, no, I'm in favor of modern science. I like to drive across bridges that have gone through the modern scientific approach. That's where I leave it. Yeah. You do a bridge and you don't do modern science, I ain't driving across it, really. No thanks. So I'll take modern science in those areas, but clean money, no. That's economics, and economics ain't friggin' science. Economics is in some way it's mental manipulation. I got a minor degree in economics. you know, it's you got a crystal ball. You make all these assumptions, and you figure most people are going to do rational things, and but it's not a science. You can measure what people do after the fact, and okay, that's sort of scientific. But had I asked questions about anything that was happening today, back when I was studying economics in the early 1980s, the professors would have said, "Get out of my class, you crazy person." What about zero interest rates? Get out of my class. What about massive trade deficits going on for 30 years? Get out of my class. All of this stuff. It's like they reinvent the whole science every year, every day now. They're reinventing the science every day. You look at the stock market, they're reinventing economics every day. It's not a science, but they're reinventing economics every day. So, yeah. So, Stone Reaper, how are you? Hope you're doing well. It was a pretty crazy week. I'm wondering if it's going to calm down, but we've got the Chaz out in Seattle now, the first autonomous zone in America. It's going to turn into an oblast or something like that down the road, and yeah. Yes, the birth of Jesus Christ. Yeah, sure. Yeah, the Muslims think that Jesus is going to come back and with the Mahdi and bring order back into the chaos of the world after the Day of Judgment or something. Okay, something may happen like that, no question. We are in a time of change, so get ready. Looking up. Yeah, I'm not sure what the prophecy is. I'm not sure about the tablets, which tablets you're referring to. I've read a lot of them. Um, in a view of Jesus Christ, I would read the Pistis Sophia. If you want a copy, send me an email. I'll send you a copy of it. I redid it. It's really quite nice now. But the Pistis Sophia is an incredible work, and it's hard to get your head around. I'm not sure that it's entirely internally consistent. It looks like there's 3 different phases, and at least 3, but there is consistency in it, no question. And it talks about Jesus after arriving back from the dead, and then he hangs out with his disciples for 12 years or something, you know. Excellent. Excellent. You got to have a comfy lawn chair, Bad Max. Yeah. And, my God, you're watching the loons. Ooh. Whatever sound it. I like the sound of a loon. Let me see if I can get it. Let's see if this comes through. Can you hear that?
On many an occasion, I've been camping in the Adirondack.
Oh, for God's sakes, why would he interrupt it? There we go. There's your loons. Can you hear the loons? I think we'll leave that in the background. I feel comforted by the sound of the loons floating past. Yeah, the Pistis Sophia. Send me an email if you want one, Smurf. I'll send you a copy. The one that's generally available, it's there, but there's too many footnotes and shit. It's good just to read it. Yeah, I'm from Canada, John Constantine, and I've been up north. I'm telling you, there ain't no rivers up there. It's like frozen wasteland. I think it may be metaphorical, though. The 4 rivers meet up there, but it's metaphorical. It's frozen. It's tough. Had a cousin went right up to what is it? Alert, the most northerly place in Canada. And it's on the very tip of a piece of land, way at the top, man. It snows there in the middle of July occasionally. Yeah, it snows. It'll snow every month. Yeah. Oh, nice. Wow. Yeah. Are you hearing that loon sound still? Yeah, if you don't like the loon sound, I'll take it off. But I'm sort of grooving on the. What's for dinner? What's for dinner tonight? I want something for dinner. Woohoo! Yes, indeed. Yeah. Yeah. Or either the gunshot or the cry of the what, the eagle or the hawk or the whatever it is that swoops down. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, John, I'm not sure that that we can interpret whatever it is that Admiral Byrd said about the North. The South is more um, interesting, but the, that he found something in the North, no, that wasn't taken from his notes. It was taken from someone else's notes, attributed to him. But in the South, no, he made an interview, and that interview is very interesting and not resolved. And then they made Antarctica a no-go zone. You're not allowed to go there. You know, that's what's striking about that. He did the interview. He said, yeah, he found more continents down in Antarctica. He found like a massive continent, he said. And then they closed it off. Yeah. Yeah, birds fly north in the wintertime. It melts up there, it melts up there. Uh, yeah, no, everything you learn in school is a big sci-fi, no question. And part of it is undoing it, but not everything you read in terms of alternate histories or alternate geographies is true. Just because what you learn is false doesn't mean that everything else is true. So it's quite difficult. If you haven't been there, you don't know. So yes, almost everything we've been taught in school is a lie. Yeah, because ultimately they just want to control, right? They just want to control. Hey, Silent Sage, yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum. Yeah, you a pirate? Holy fuck, man! I think you're a pirate. Um, oh my god, I'm still hearing that loon sound. I love it. And I'm not sure if a gunshot does come in. Somebody's got a great sense of humor. I don't know. They got loons in Nova Scotia. I've been to some places outside of Nova Scotia, so I probably heard loon calls. I think we got loons in Nova Scotia. Yeah, approximately 1,200 pairs of loons breed each summer on lakes. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. So we got loons. Not many, I gotta say. 1,200 pairs, that's not a lot. Nova Scotia is pretty big. It's pretty big. It's a small province, but it's still big. Holy shit, it's big. It takes about 9 hours to drive from, north to south. But only like an hour and a half, maybe, east to west. Roughly. Yeah, someone did say rum. Yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum. Yeah. Yeah, the world beyond the poles. Yeah. There may be something in there of value, but I went over some of that information. Maybe not the book, but the information in the book. And yeah, I'm not convinced totally on it. Yeah. Well, the North Pole apparently is in the center. Yeah, New Brunswick has loons. Yeah. No, New Brunswick is a much richer and softer land than Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia's too close to the Atlantic, too much rock and stuff. New Brunswick is, you know, it's more like New York, New York State. It's protected. Anything right along the coast, even, Massachusetts is a little softer inland. This is like Massachusetts, Yeah, a Catholic priest wrote the book. I got very little good to say about those guys. Maybe back then it was better, but now it's just sickness. Absolute sickness. Hey, it's BJP. Howdy, man. And by the way, I just read your note, and I'm going to respond to it somehow, some way. But I think we can put this loon sound in the background. I'm liking it now. All diseases come from parasites, maybe, and it may be a parasite of an unknown nature, parasitism, living off another thing. If we could figure out what life is, then we'd have a much better idea on what parasitism is. But some of it's energy, so feed off the energy. Feed off the energy of Mgtow. I think that's a good motto. Because there's a lot of energy here. There's a lot of men out there who are learning a lot of stuff. And they're learning the stuff, and they're taking the right steps. And people are responding to it, and they're hating it. They're not liking it. And I want men to get rich. Men to get rich and powerful individually. Stop giving your money over. Stop inviting the government in. The government is not your friend. And support with your money those things that are valuable in the long term for men. Because men are ultimately the prize. So you want to support what's being constructive. You want to support what's going forward. Yeah. Oh, wow. Pork, shrimp, and lobsters. I don't think that's very good for the Nova Scotia lobster industry, but hey, Yes, I wonder if Cyber's still in. Cyber has a different handle here. My God, apparently. Let me check. I should check this. It seems still to be up. There was one 4 days ago. I'm seeing a video here 4 days ago from Cybermonk. So yeah. So Cybermonk's channel is still up. If you haven't gone over, go over, check it out, subscribe. He has extremely high quality and thought-provoking videos. Snippets from reality. Yeah, maybe that's what he should call it. Snippets from reality. Little vignettes into hard truths that people don't want to face ultimately. Yes, John Constantine. We've seen the plastic coffins. That was. But the guillotines, no. The guillotines were not that. Apparently, I looked this up. You heard about it. The government of the U.S. did buy, I think, 10,000 or something guillotines, but it's that large paper cutter thing that you see in offices where you want to cut like paper. Those are called guillotines. That's what they bought. They didn't buy like the French, French Revolution guillotines. No, so there's conspiracies around there, and some of them pan out, and some of them don't. And people are trying to make a name by promoting this idea or that idea. Okay, fine. It's good to put it out and ask a question. Putting it out is in some way asking a question. Do we really see manipulation? Do we really see violence? I'm putting out a question. And, yes, we see manipulation of men. We see it in that article we went over, which, said that 1/3 of men, this confirmed a previous study, that 1/3 of men have not had sex in the last year and really don't care. And then we have the manipulation within that kernel of, it's a knife they stick in to make you want to not do this. And they said that, sexual relations are good for well-being and health. Well, no, researchers note. What researchers? This is weasel words. We don't have any way to back this up. And no, it's not true. It's just not true. So they're trying to make people, socially engineer men into seeing something wrong with them. They did it to me. They're doing it to men today, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I think they're bastards. Stop with that fucking Weasley stuff. No, you don't. The only people that say that are women, and we know that they're saying it because they get resources. The prostitutes get resources. The women who get the free drinks at the bars get resources. That's why they want this. Yeah. So this is manipulation. We see the manipulation in the courts. We discussed that last night. We see the manipulation now where men are not allowed to speak freely. They're trying to close down discussion. We're not going to let that happen. We're just going to stay up. We're going to keep it on the up and up. We're going to make sure that we've got a good handle on things. Mgtow Warrior came in earlier on. He's probably lurking in the background. He does a lot of stuff. We want to make sure that men out there who are doing a good job. It was last night. This woman came on. Okay, I had a clickbaity title. I'll admit that, but it may be true. It was technically correct. It's just a historical reference. But some woman come on, and I had to be nice. The first time you get a warning. Second time, a stronger warning. Third time, okay, fuck off. Learn it. Banned. Anyway, it's good to have people making sure that men have places to talk. And we need this. And if they close down this channel, we'll reconfigure and come up again. And we don't know what's going on because of social media. They get the rage click. They want the rage click bait. They want the fear click bait. And oh man, Max, my God, that's fun. Yeah, no, I don't know. It says 8-hour loom call soothing. I find it quite soothing, to tell you the truth, to have the loom call in the background. If you're just joining, we are listening to soothing loom calls. It's a great animal with this sound. But yeah, wake up to the sound of seal clubbing. Oh my God. Yeah. That's a good way to wake up. The day's about to hit you, so move. Yeah, we don't have to worry about channels being shut down. Cybermonk's been shut down a couple of times, so I think it's hard to get everyone to resub, but we've got to make sure that people are resubbing at this point. I'm not getting promoted at all. I'm not putting out a great deal of content. I'm doing the hangouts and maybe a couple during the week. My artistic and holistic approach to making videos is, I think it mirrors what we have to look at internally, that we are connected in every way to everything, maybe closer, maybe more distant, and that there's insights that come from just an intuitive grasp of something, an artistic grasp, that we sense the danger before we can put it into words. And then we put it into words, and that helps. But we are first, we grasp things ineffably, and then by searching it out, we can put it into words. And the White House is a demon temple dedicated to the demigod Osiris. I don't think Osiris is very important, to tell you the truth. He's a. Let me check. One of them's not important. Was it Osiris, or was it Isis? Let me see if I can find it. No, I'm having trouble. I gotta reorganize this shit. No. My God. No, I gotta reorganize it. I haven't been back in there in a long time. My God. This is looking at. I wanted to do a video on esotericism. There's 4 types: Platonic, Orphic, mystical, and hermetic. And I think that over the course of the last 2,000 years, people have been trying to understand the relationship between the early writings of the ancient Persians, ancient Mesopotamians, and ancient Egyptians, and Osiris falls into that camp. We've got three layers in each of these traditions: the early, the middle, and the late. With the Greeks, we know it as the primordial, the Titans, and the Olympians, and it was the primordials that are the structure of the universe, whereas the Titans were the early mentor type of involvement of the archons, and the early ones came in and they were the Nephilim. They started to interbreed and they had to be thrown out. They were too friendly to humans. Prometheus gave fire to humans, etc., etc. And then you had the third ones, and they were sort of like just the groundskeepers, and they weren't especially friendly. Osiris falls into the third camp. He's an Olympian, I believe, and so he was sent in to clean up the mess created by the Titans. That's what happens when you get too friendly. Anyway, maybe I should straighten up this again. And my God, there's a lot happening going back to 6,000 years ago. Lucifer is the light bearer, and so they've changed what it is. There's a reason why people think Lucifer is not good, and okay, whatever. But the first thing that the devil is going to do is convince you that your friends are your enemies and your enemies are your friends, or just to confuse you so bad you don't know who's your friends and enemies. And I think Mgtow wants to stay in that position. Who's your friend? Who's your enemy? You don't really know. Now, it's good to have friends, and eventually over time you know someone's your friend. But unless you get to know them close up, you don't know. So from these writings, I don't know. Are the Freemasons our friends? At this point, I don't know. Do they want to take over the world? Apparently, yes. So I guess they're not. But but whatever you read, John Constantine, it may not be as determinable. And so there's a great indetermination. The further back you go into time, the less determinable it becomes. In fact, we can go back to 163. We can't determine who killed John F. Kennedy. And it was done in broad daylight. So, yeah, I don't know. The Statue of Liberty was a black woman. It was a French design, right? I don't know. They made it in France and sent it over. The French were nice back then. Now, they just wear yellow jackets and protest a lot. I don't know. Are they back at it now? After this COVID-19 hoax, that really did damage to a lot that was happening. Making people stay in their homes and stuff. It's bad news. All of this is bad news. Anyway, I'm getting tired of that loon call. We've had enough. I'm waiting for the gunshot. It didn't fucking come. Those loons are still alive. Anyway, it was nice for a while. I enjoyed it for a while. I don't know whether I can do 8 hours of it though. The video is 8 hours long. That's about as much as I could take. Yeah, I suppose if I was, doing a spliff by the lake or something like that, I might be able to take it. But then you're immersed in it, and it's that immersion into reality that we experience. It's the experience of a total situation. And yes, you can experience a total situation on the internet. So this is a new place to have a total experience. And this is what I try to get at with my videos: the total experience, an immersion into experience. And if you do that, then you know that I'm not walking out onto that minefield. I'm just not doing it. You're involved in the experience of the manipulation of the violence within the system. And, we want to... Yeah, I know. Oh, my God. Waiting for the gunshot. Holy shit. That was great. Oh, no. And, there's... Yeah. Oh God, that's great. An immersion into humor. Yeah. And it's the unexpected, I think, that makes things funny. You don't expect it. You could be a comedian with a joke like that. Delivery is important. You got to set it all up, but there's a joke for sale in that one. Yeah. Yeah, I've been watching some comedians. I ran into Groucho Marx and I found some funny stuff. And then, Steve Martin, some of the old comedians. And I shouldn't say old. When I was young, they were just rising up. Steve Martin was one of them. God, he was funny back then. A different type of humor. And, some of these new guys I don't know. Like Dave Chappelle. I really didn't know Dave Chappelle. I've been out of the loop. But, I know him now. Funny man. Definitely. Eddie Murphy. I grew up on Eddie Murphy. Chevy Chase. Yeah, very funny. Very funny. My God, Chevy Chase was funny. John Candy. That first cast of SNL for a lot of years, they were funny. And, it went on for some time, then it just didn't get funny anymore. And then, okay, maybe it was funny again, but now I don't think it's funny. Yeah. Have a good night. Yeah. Demonologist. Yeah. Well, you can study. That. I looked into. What is it? John somebody from England. And the language of Enoch and stuff like that, and interesting. Yeah, I know there is a devil. Only explanation for black velvet paintings. My God Almighty. Yes. Yeah. Why? Yeah. Yeah. Chevy Chase was a drummer. I didn't know John Belushi was a bass player. He wasn't much of a singer. He could hold the tune, but the Blues Brothers was great. They had a great band, and it sounded great. They looked great. Damn good on the bass, was he? Maybe so. My God, why not? He was obviously a very smart man, talented. And talents move over. Not to every area, but they move over. Yeah, if you get pretty talented in one thing, yeah, you can get talented in another. Why not? Wow. Lemmings. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Bass players. I like bass players, and I got pretty good at doing a synth bass line. I was pretty good, and but never like a bass with the strings. I never got good with strings. I could sort of play guitar a bit, but no. Keys, sticks, not strings. Oh well. At least I found it, you know. Wind, no, I tried wind. Never clicked, you know. My art form is music. And that's the way it's going to be. Some people's art form is not music. It's painting or drama or whatever it is. Whatever it is. Yeah. The guitar's from Spinal Tap. What, the blonde guy? Are you talking about the blonde guy? Was he a... Yeah, I don't know. One of them, they were probably a musician. I don't know. Nigel, yeah, Nigel. Nigel Tufnell. Yeah. Yeah, Nigel Tufnell. That's the guy I was thinking about. He was played by actor Christopher Guest. Yeah. Yeah. Christopher Guest. Yeah. The 5th Baron Haddon Guest. They made him a baron. Spouse Jamie Lee Curtis. Holy shit. He's married to Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah, he's the 5th Baron Haddon Guest. Yeah, look at that. Wow, isn't that something? Yeah, he became interested. It says here the guest became interested in country music and played guitar with Arlo Guthrie. Huh. Isn't that something? A fellow student at Stockbridge School. There we are. Yep. Ha! My God. Sounds like a fun life. My God, it seems like he had a fun life. Yeah. I only recognize really one. He did some episodes of stuff, but you know. Anyway, fun life. What do you do when you have a peerage and you're rich? Yeah. I think it was Nigel who turned the amp up to 11, right? It was Nigel who turned the amp up to 11. Oh my God, that's so classic. Oh my God. Yeah. How to be impossibly stupid. Even when it's explained to you, you still go for it. Yeah, it's still alive, I guess, yeah. And I don't know about Jamie Lee Curtis, what she was like. Uh, apparently he's still married to her, so she couldn't have been that bad. Yeah. Right, the guy from Laverne and Shirley. Yeah. God, what was his name? I didn't really like the show, but I saw it a few times, definitely, and but I like the guy, whoever the guy was. Michael McKean, is that the guy? Yeah, Michael McKean. Yeah. He seemed to do a lot of stuff too. That's good. He seems to be able to play the guitar too. and he's been on SNL. He was on SNL. Yeah. A couple of episodes on SNL. Not, I don't think it was recurring, but yeah, my God, he's worked a lot. Holy shit, he's worked a lot. He's still doing stuff too. So anyway, I guess you got to work in this life. You think you make enough money, but I guess they don't. The more they make, the more they spend. So that's it. Yeah, Lenny. Lenny from Laverne and Shirley. Yeah. Am I still quiet on the mic? What in the hell's going on with this mic? It's plugged in. I gotta fix that somehow. Master volume. I'll turn the master volume up. I wonder if that's going to do anything. You know, I used to be able to get to the damn settings. And now I'm in Windows 10 and I can't find my way around. Bastards. Why do they change things? They had things working good, then they changed it. One of my computers is on Windows 7. I can find my way around. Everything's great. And why don't they make it so you can do everything you did before and something? Why do you change it all around? Yeah, I'm getting old, you know? Give me a break. I got enough to learn. Let me go in and see if somebody's screwed around with my settings here. I don't know. Anyway, I turned up the master volume. I didn't know that was down. Sound control panel. Oh, there we go. Recording, microphone, properties, levels. There, microphone up to 100. There, I found it. Microphone boost. Whoa, I just boosted it way up. Is that too much? Okay, how's that? I just found the microphone. I put the level up to 100 and I boosted it. Is that better? I get a wow. Oh, okay, way better. Sorry, thank you. I don't know what happened. The microphone boost was at 20 plus 20 dB. But the microphone was at 100. I don't know how it got down. People messing around with my system, maybe. Bastards. You give somebody leave to fix your computer, and then they screw around with stuff they shouldn't touch. Yeah, I know Upchurch. I listen to, he's, is it Phil Upchurch? I didn't think it was Phil. Was it Phil? Yeah, no, I heard about Upchurch. He's a pretty cutting-edge guy. I don't know why. He's involved in controversies around music or rap. He's a rapper, I guess. From Tennessee. Got a lot of albums out. Yeah. I guess he does controversial stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Labels, Redneck Nation. Yeah, I sort of found him via some other guy. He's on my... Holy cow, look at all the people up on live. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know. There's some other guy I found. Then I found Upchurch. What about Upchurch? Oh, really? Well, I'm not going to do that. We would totally hear. Do you hear the ocean? Do you hear the ocean? I hope you don't hear the fan. I got a fan on me. But, I get street sounds. The street's about, 300 meters down. Then the ocean's about, 300, 400 meters or 350 meters. Oh, really? Wow, is this mic ever? I don't know if I like that. It's too touchy. Is it good? Is it okay? I might be able to turn it down now that I know where it is. But the waves are coming in. It's not too lively today. The ocean looks very blue. Blue, do 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 do, ba do 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 do, blue, do 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 do. I'm blue. Hey. I don't know. I can't get the video capture. Anyway, I should move the camera over there so we can see the ocean. It's very blue today. The sky is lovely. No cloud. Jesus, look at that. There's no clouds today at all. Yeah. Oh. If anything, you could go louder. Well, I'll just scream into the microphone. Strong, but not overpowering. Well, there you go. You know the words to that song. What song? Your voice rings like a bell. No, I don't know that song. Oh, really? Ah. See, I don't like rap either. I don't like rap, Bad Max. So if that Upchurch guy, I don't like rap. I like music. I like harmony. Melody's okay. And interesting rhythm. Give me a bass line, Give me a bass line, drums, and some sort of harmony to put over that. I'm happy. I don't even need vocals. I'm blue. I believe I'm a die. Yeah. Yeah, the blue. It's Eiffel 65. Eiffel 65 blue. Eiffel 65 blue. Yeah, I'm blue. Da ba dee, da ba da. There. I'm blue. Da ba dee ba ba da ba dee, da ba dee, da ba da, da ba dee da ba da. I have a blue house with a blue window. Blue is the color of all that I wear. Blue are the streets and all the trees too. I have a girlfriend and she is so blue. Yeah, there's the bad line. You got a girlfriend. You're about to be blue like my Corvette. Yeah, my ex-Corvette. Like my ex-girlfriend. That's why you're gonna be blue. You're gonna have the blues. There, that's the song. Blue. Yeah. Yeah, you want to look at the lyrics of that song, Iggy. Yeah. It's not in there. It's it may sound like that, and again, if that's what you're hearing, ultimately in an artistic piece, that's great. I misinterpret lyrics, and I like them better than the actual lyrics. So, in my mind, I leave them that way. And I heard somebody talk, a famous writer, and they said the same thing. Yeah. Yeah. And it's not a Mandela effect thing. No. Yeah. Yeah. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if that's what appears in the holistic thing. Maybe they should have done it. Had they taken more time, maybe they would have done it. But anyway, country rock and rap. Yeah. Talk. Yeah, I know Talk. I know the band Talk. What song did they have? They had one really great song. It's My Life, wasn't it? Or was it Talk? I'm afraid to play any of it, to tell you the truth, to remind myself, because it may be under copyright. I didn't think the Loon sounds were under copyright, so I played it. Yeah, It's My Life. Yeah. That one rings a bell. Don't you forget. In fact, I think right now it might be a good time to take a musical interlude. I set up a new tune, and we'll listen to that, and be back in a minute.
What I saw, I like to think I never knew. That's what I found from this week. I think that's my summation for the week. Evil grows, and indeed, we're looking at a different world. We're looking at a world where evil may prosper in the short term, but it won't in the long term. And we're into that period of time where evil seems to be prospering, but men are waking up, and all evil needs to do to prosper is for good men to do nothing. And I think men are acting in a smart way. You cannot fight this thing. The Leviathan cannot be fought because it just grows. It grows in strength as it's being fought. And you can't cooperate with it because it grows in strength. So you just are indifferent to it. You're indifferent to it, and add a little friction, and then we're done. And when it all comes down to misery and hopelessness, we can always sing a song. S-A-T-U-R-D-A-Y. Night. Yeah, that's a meme. That is a musical meme, and you know why they got famous on that song. Because it's stuck in my head. When was the last time I heard that song? My God. I don't know. I think I heard it 10 years ago or something. Somewhere. But it's in there. It's in there forever, to tell you the truth. It's in there forever. So, bought a Bay City Rollers album. Why not? Why not? A lot of people did. Somebody had to buy them. A lot of people bought them. They made a lot of money. They really did. So, no worries about that. Anyway, we're here welcoming people into the channel. If you're new to the channel, please let us know that you're new. And if you have anything you want to share with us, please do. This is the listening post. And we're here letting men know that men are out and willing to talk about anything. As long as it's positive, we'll talk about it. But I think men are doing fine now, to tell you the truth. I think more men are doing fine today than 30 years ago. They know that they're being fed shit. And so, they're going about their life, they're going about their business, and they know that in the center that there are men who agree with them fully, that understand them fully, the statistics back them up fully, and they can go through their life with confidence, and that's all that counts. It's that confidence to do what you know you're feeling is right. And then you look at the numbers and you back it up. And so rationally, it's right. The numbers are right. And so this is what's key. And evil is growing, and it's trying to do bad things, and it's trying to shut down conversations they don't want to have. But ultimately, I don't know whether the Black Lives Matter is going to be disastrous towards men or not, because black men certainly have been put upon in the most horrible of ways. They were the pilot project, and they're 10 years down the road further than the rest, and they have special considerations. Horrible. So if Black Lives Matters helps these men, well, so be it. And but if they go further and destroy history and destroy the social cohesion, then they're causing a problem. Yeah. Well, it was I don't know, sometime this week that V, who's that Romanian YouTuber, said that at one point he was a furry, and he said it was a shameful period in his life. Oh, God. Anyway, he was having fun, but that's a weird thing. And this is part of the evil, that people are forgetting who they are. They're humans, and they should do human things. What that means, I'm not quite sure, but you're not an animal, and you're not a furry fantasy creature. No, you're a human, and should do human things and enjoy human experiences. You're not a furry, you know. And then you got the the Outkinder or whatever it's called. He's I forget what it was now. I'm not getting the same dish. I think I've had a different definition of furry from the last time. Anyway, yeah, there's people who think that they're half of this and half of that. These people are mentally ill. In that I don't think they have a sustainable approach to the world, but you never know. If they're on psychiatric pills, then they're driving themselves crazy by thinking crazy thoughts. And whether the crazy thoughts are true or not. So it's time for people to return to what it means to being human and what it means to be in a man. And what it means to be in a man is you're given certain pushes and instincts and drives, and then you've got to understand them, and then you go through the world and make your choices. It's not a matter of automatically reacting to whatever nature tells you is wrong or not good, or whatever the community tells you that you should do is automatically bad and wrong. No, it's not a knee-jerk reaction. It's you evaluate things on their basis, on their own basis, and you give them that basis, and you understand that basis. And the better you can understand that basis for action, is the more success you're going to have in life. So you want to decide where your values are and what you value and how you value it. And once you do that, then okay, you can set a course, and there's some luck involved. There's risk, right? The world has risk. You can have the best laid plans, and then a friggin' satellite comes out of space and blows you up. Oh, okay, you don't know. So there's bad luck. There's good luck. All of a sudden you got this plan. You're going off in this direction. Something comes along and say, "I'm going there." And you go there and you become super successful at something. Oh, okay. Wow, that was lucky I took that road. So this is the world that we're in. We're in a world where there's risk, where there's planning, and where there's nature. And the thing about men today is if you make the wrong decision, if you just go down the road without thinking, and if you don't know to avoid certain opportunities that come your way, then you're going to be in trouble. And one of those opportunities is meeting some woman who's really pleasant and says, "I want you to take care of me," and then 3 years later, you're in front of a family court judge and you find out she's a bitch and has done this 3 times in her past. So you just got to be real careful. Yeah. And men are easy to manipulate by women, and men are programmed to be that. And that's the first thing to get over. Women manipulating you. I suppose I could have been nasty, and that woman came onto the chat. I should have just blocked her the first time, but you figure you're in the wrong place. No reason to be nasty if you don't have to. She seemed pleasant enough. But get the fuck out, Yeah. You can lurk, I can't stop you, but and that's true with kids, I guess. So if you're a kid, get the hell out of here. We've got man talk here. We've got a man who, as a child, bought an album that still shames him. So this is not something we want children to be aware of. That an action they take today could have a repercussion 30 years into the future. That's not for us to talk about. At some point, a child becomes an adult. They reach that age of reason, and at that point,
I think the brakes should be put on. Maybe you begin that process by understanding that Santa Claus is not possible, regardless of what anyone says. It's not possible. Thus, you've reached that early stage of the age of reason, and then you can sometimes very quickly sort out a lot of things, and then these people should be put someplace to just stop them. Don't do anything now until you figure it out. Just take it real easy, and then you'll be okay. But if you race out and do this and do that, by the time you're 14, you should just stop, really, and take a very conservative approach. Do some research, find out the ways of the world, what's being told to you, what's a lie. Everything you learned at school is a lie, probably. Most of it, anyway. They got to tell some truth, right? They can't do totally 100% lies at school. So some of it's got to be true. And ultimately, what they teach in school, a lot of it's lies by omission. If they told us that the Supreme Court of the United States supports slavery, that decision is still on the books, right? Although it's been overcome by apparently a constitutional amendment, it didn't change the fact that men can be slaves. Oh, really? You're discussing that? Yeah, no. What it sort of means is that if you're not American, if you're not a citizen, you can be a slave. Oh, really? That's throwing men under the bus. So all the non-Americans in the world, if they ever get to an American man, they can turn him into a slave, and the American government won't, be too concerned about that. Nasty. Hey, it's Monk Music. How you doing? Good morning. And it is morning. It's pretty early morning. Get a coffee. Get a tea. Get a tea in ya. Anyway, we're continuing on the I think debriefing for the week's insanity. Sorry, scratchy throat. So I think maybe we should retitle the listening post "Debriefing for the Week's Insanity," because every week we seem to get a new insanity, and it's just we have to just point it out and say, yeah, the whole Chaz thing in Seattle, that's insane, and Donald Trump's response to it, that's insane, and I saw a video of people applauding those two guys in Buffalo that pushed the old guy to the ground, and gave him a concussion apparently with lasting effects. Applauding that type of behavior, that's insane. Maybe it was an accident to push him, but it wasn't an accident to lie about it. And so now we have the misdirection that the problem is not a system, the problem is the men. Well, the problem is not the men. Maybe they were a little too hyped up, maybe they were a little too this, a little too that, maybe their instructions were bad, but they lied about it, so it's a systemic problem. But they don't want to talk about that. Oh, for God's sakes. There's a plan. Yes, your lordship, it could not have been rape. You see, I'm a grizzly bear. I identify as a grizzly bear. And I think the real importance here is that she had sex with an animal and should be charged with bestiality. Yeah, what would happen to the judge if you said that to him? I mean, he has to accept that you identify as a grizzly bear and that therefore she had bestiality. Welcome to the insanity. Now, this is what the SJWs want, right? You have to accept what people identify as. They identify as a furry, mythological creature. Oh, okay. God. There, the drink. I think you could hear the ice clanking against the side of the glass. Mug, I should say. So,
yeah, this is the world we're in. This is the insanity we're in. And this is a sign of the times that people are not happy in their own skins. And I think Mgtow wants to say, why not be happy in your skins? You're in it, you know. And if you think you're in the wrong skin, well, maybe it's your thinking that's wrong and not everything else. You're in the right skin. It's just your thinking is wrong. So why don't you think I'm in the right skin? But I can't think that way. Well, then you've got an obsessive compulsive problem. And you want to address that. Just ignore it for a while and it'll go away, you know. Find a hobby, find an interest, find some pursuit that leads you to greatness, and forget about whatever it is you created for yourself. Yeah. Hey, it's Wookie. How are you? How are things going? Well, things are going nuts. I think things are going nuts for the world, and we're in the weekly debrief. What crazy things did you see this week? Well, I saw countries continue to destroy themselves. I continue to read unsupportable false narratives stated as facts. Ah, you're all right. Your job's going great. This sounds great. And if you can get out there, get a job, get a solid job, just relax. Just relax. Take the money, do the work, build up the resources, do some prepping, enjoy the world, and I would, recommend that all men now just take it nice and easy, nice and steady for your personal protection. As to the other things that are going on, well, you want to determine your values, but the Leviathan, which is that force of control between the government, its media agents, its security structure, and the various large interests, moneyed interests, corporate interests. All of these people are conspiring against you. And just push ahead. As I say, you put an iron in the fire over there, you put an iron in the fire over there, and to go down many roads at the same time, a little bit here, a little bit there, but focus on what you're doing, do it well, and then you can focus on something else a bit. If you spread your focus too much, then you get a little bit confused. And so right now, the ship is swaying greatly in the ocean, and it's easy to lose your focus. And yeah. And so, we're getting conflicting information. There's like two sides here. One side saying it's not as bad, the COVID-19 is not as bad as people make it out to be. And then people saying, oh no, we can't open up at all. So we're getting this, and we don't know why there's this disagreement. There shouldn't be. The intersubjective truth of the matter is out there, so why can't we see it? There seems to be an agenda preventing this intersubjective truth from happening. And one of them, I pointed out, is that there's been no demonstration of a cause and effect via postulates, and there's been no requirement that this be done. And this is a failure of medical science to require this for this case before the epidemiologists start, churning out their numbers. And a case of a positive, it may be true, but without a cause and effect, it's just a correlation. And people are panicking over the correlation of the epidemiologists, but the microbiologists have not spoken yet. Because they're still looking, and they don't want to look stupid and say, I can't find it, when everyone's saying it causes it. But not everyone. Some people are saying it's related to. So it's like someone's hyping up this fear. And Trump went down this road. Maybe that was his mistake. Or maybe he thinks he can,
expose the deep state, and they look to be involved in this lie, this hoax, and to completely show the deep state to be bankrupt in every possible sense of the word. So, I don't need a vaccine for this. I know it ain't real. I don't need a vaccine for you. I need you to go away. There. Maybe I should become a country singer. Yep. No, apparently in Colorado they're passing a law which says you have to take it, and if you don't take it, you're going to take it anyway. And this is like, what? Is this what the people of Colorado want? Are they filled with Karens and shit? What's going on? I thought Colorado was filled with like cowboys and men. What are they electing over there? You know, you had Boulder, and you thought, okay, that was a little bit of, artsy people, and that's always nice, but not if they're nuts. Normally artsy people are questioners. So who's questioning this narrative? I don't know. But you should question the narrative and get to the bottom of it and get any information you need. No, it's not. It's full of pussies. Colorado is full of pussies. Jesus. What happened? What happened? Yeah, maybe it was John Denver and his Rocky Mountain High. Everyone went up there to get high, and they got high, and they became a pussy. After the Columbine was there, maybe that was a signal that the community was going sick, and going sick in multiple directions, going sick in many ways. It's a sickness. So I don't know what Colorado's going to do. If they're demanding that, then the only people there will be RFID Karens and their kids. That's the problem. The kid will be there, and it'll devolve, and so we're seeing de-evolution. This is de-evolution. Are we not men? No, we are Devo. And so, the gains we've made for in terms of inventions and building, this is all going to go backwards. We see it going backwards. We're ripping down statues, and statues of good people who were raised in an area of a bad time. Yeah. Leary's message has got lost. King's message is lost. Liberals have been hijacked by fascists. Oh, wow. Right there. Just to think about that for a second. Dr. Leary's message is lost. Dr. King's message is lost. Liberals have been hijacked by fascists. Yes. I consider myself libertarian. I consider myself, I took the test. Apparently I'm a left libertarian, but still libertarian. So, but yeah, classical liberal, a Jeffersonian liberal, sure. The lunatics have taken over the asylum. The liberals have been hijacked by the fascists. This is the insanity we're in. And so the labels don't mean anything anymore. It's what is this person doing? What do they want exactly? And if you can narrow that down. As I say, I went over the 20 demands of the let me try to get it if I can get it here. The 20 demands of the the Seattle people who've taken. Trying to find it here. I can't find it here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, the 20 demands. Demand number 1, the Seattle Police Department and attached court system are beyond reform. I might agree with that. We do not request reform, we demand abolition.
I would agree that everyone should be fired, and then you establish some other system to do whatever it is they did. Right now, we have lies and more lies coming out. So that's a systemic failure. We see the systemic failure. That systemic failure has been going on my entire lifetime. So then they have a transitionary period thing. Okay, whatever. We demand an end to the school to prison pipeline and the abolition of youth jails. Yeah, I'm for that. Get kids out of prisons. Get cops out of schools. I agree with all of that. I don't think kids should be in prison. Now, if you get a really sort of a psychopathic kid, well, yeah, maybe. But at most, that's going to be rare. Then they demand that not the city government, not the state government, but that the federal government launch a full-scale investigation into police brutality. Oh, okay. That's pretty reasonable. Should be. Reparations for victims of police brutality. Okay. That's reasonable. We demand that the city of Seattle make the names of officers involved in police brutality a matter of public record. You mean it's not? You mean it's not a matter of public? What in the fuck is that? It should be. I mean, sorry. When I read that, I'm saying, what? This is the worst. You can't. This means that the system is beyond reform. If police officers, names of police officers involved in police brutality is not a matter of public record, then the system is absolutely broken. They demand a retrial of people of color currently serving in a prison sentence for violent crime by a jury of their peers. Now, I'm not sure what other peers means, but yeah, people in a trial for a violent crime should have a jury trial. I thought that was guaranteed under the Constitution. Yeah? So, I would say if you didn't get a jury by a trial by jury and you wanted one, you should get one. Definitely. A decriminalization of acts of protest, an amnesty for protesters, but specifically for those involved in what has been termed the George Floyd Rebellion. So we have the George Floyd Rebellion. We have a rebellion taking place. They announced it here. A decriminalization of acts of protest. Well, I don't think they were criminalized. Under the Constitution, they're allowed as long as it's a peaceful protest and not looting and burning. So, if a government declares a curfew, they're violating, in America, they're violating the Constitution. So there should be an amnesty because you can't violate the Constitution. No government can in America, apparently. But they are, so again, you would agree with that. The right for peaceable assembly is guaranteed. No government can say a curfew, in other words. We demand the city of Seattle and state government release any prisoner currently serving time for a marijuana-related offense. That's number 9. Yeah, agree. Number 10, we demand the city of Seattle and state government release any prisoner currently serving time for just resisting arrest, if there are no other charges. And for the most part, I might agree. If you're handcuffed behind your back and then they say you're resisting arrest and punch the hell out of you, yeah, that's nuts. That's what they did to George Floyd, obviously. So, then they want prisoners to be given full and unrestricted right to vote. Not sure about that. We demand an end to prosecutorial immunity for police officers. They should be able to be prosecuted. The color of law thing and qualified immunity, both of these are an abomination of justice. Maybe I can bring this up on the screen. I'm reading it here. 20 demands, I think I'll call it. Let me try that. Yeah, there we go. So I put it up here. So these are the 30 demands. I guess the 30 demands. So I was at number 11 or something like that, So some of them, you agree with. Some of these things you agree with. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a rebellion, Wookie. I don't know whether they're terrorists. Rebellions are terrorizing. But, to demand an end to the school-to-prison pipeline, that shouldn't be there. Get the kids out of prison, get the cops out of schools. Yeah, especially if they're in there for like marijuana. What in the hell is this? This should not be it. This is mostly, this school to prison pipeline is mostly a disposability of men. And the youth jails are filled with young men that, either the community or women teachers can't deal with, right? They have no men to guide them and to lead them in the right direction, to put up with a little push and to allow it and to encourage it, but to show that there are boundaries. And these young men, these boys, old boys and young men, they don't get this information, and thus they go to jails. So, maybe this is a scream for men. So I'm not going to say that they're terrorists if that's what they want. But, down below some of the stuff's nuts. And, ultimately, Mgtow is not, the one to say you should go out on the street and riot and protest and or protest to the point of rioting in order to get this done. This is not for Mgtow. Mgtow is for men. This type of social change is a different thing that each man can support in his own way or not support in his own way. But some of this stuff is good. To get men out of jail for smoking pot is obvious. So, but, number 13 again is the abolition of imprisonment, generally speaking. So they open it up that maybe, psychopaths and extremely dangerous people like that. Well, maybe, but youth prisons and privately owned for-profit prisons. Yeah, privately owned for-profit prisons are an abomination. Yeah, okay. So, they're heavy here on the criminal justice system. They want autonomy to be given to the people to create localized anti-crime systems. In some way, that's always existed, and it's just for people to take. That's what I heard. And I heard this from people on the right. Not people on the left, but people on the right saying that, no, you can form a neighborhood watch, and that's it. You form a neighborhood watch. And you just get together, and there's an anti-crime system. And then we have another transition at number 16, number 17. It's just sexually harassed by the Seattle Police Department. Well, maybe they got a problem. I don't know. Then 18's transition. And number 19, now they're saying that the Seattle police funding would be gone to other things not involved directly with law and order issues, but with socialized health and free public housing. There might be enough money. Obviously, they're putting people in jail where they shouldn't be, and that's expensive. So maybe save some money. That's what it's about. You don't put men in jail. What is it, $50,000 a year for smoking a joint? Well, that's a lot of money you save for 1 million guys in jail for smoking a joint. That's a lot of money. You can build a lot of houses for that, Anyway, economic demands. The de-gentrification of Seattle, starting with rent control. I don't know whether people are aware of what lending money on the value of land means. It's a tax on young people. God gave the land, and then somebody just raises the price of land that they're not using or something, and then make young people pay more for that land, so that the old person can fucking just sit around on their fucking ass, buy a piece of land, prevent people from using it, and then sell it for more later. This is predatory on young people. So there is some problem with rent seeking.
on the value of land, and this causes the gentrification. It's not the building that's now expensive, it's the land. And so this is a tax on young people, and I'm opposed to that. Land should be valued at $1 an acre everywhere, only, ever, all the time. Everywhere, $1 an acre. You can't buy and sell land for more than that. However, you can sell and the improvements on the land. If you build a road or a ditch or something, then you can add that to the price. But a building, you can add the price of the building to the land, but not the land itself. And if you prevent banks from lending money on that basis, or you prevent putting that as an asset down on your balance sheet, then what you're going to find is that land is going to, be $1 an acre, or close to it, and that it's not going to be a tax on young people. But given that the population is going to decline, it may not matter. They want a restoration of city funding for arts and culture. Well, we can pay money to put people in jail, or pay money to subsidize people to play music on street corners. It's your choice. I don't know. Free college for the people of the state of Washington. I don't know about that, but if you're doing well at university, I think there should be a lot of bursaries and bonuses. If you keep your GPA way up and stuff, and maybe it's worthwhile to give people scholarships, and so maybe you pay for the first year and you get to ride on a scholarship for the rest of it. That'll encourage people to work real hard at university and become smart, and not to accept the narrative, because ultimately, at some point, university began to question things. Then 24 is a transition, a decentralized election process to give the citizens of Seattle a greater ability to select candidates for public office. I don't know what in the hell that means. Anyone can run. You got canceled for criticizing China? Those bastards. China bad. There. Am I going to get canceled now? China bad. China is bad. There, I'll put the verb in. I don't know. Does Chinese have verbs? They got a really weird system. That's why we make fun of them when they speak English, because they have trouble with a subject, verb, object structure. Oh, well. Anyway, you got canceled by criticizing China. That's bad news. If they take over with their social credit system, I was hoping I'd be dead before that happened. But ultimately, that's a cowardly approach. They should not be allowed to invoke a social credit system in China or anywhere else, whoever the they is. Yeah, no, China is brittle. Yeah, China is brittle, and it will break easily. You check. Yeah, thanks, Silent Sage. Thanks for coming in. Take off. And land, well, taking off is one thing, but you got to land. You got to come in nice and smooth. Smooth landing, wherever you go. You go up, but it's got to be a smooth landing. And that's what I think is going to happen to China. They're not going to have a smooth landing from this. You look at their history, they've never had a smooth landing. They've always had large, long periods of messy fighting. Yeah. Bad Matt, 1962, exactly. All banks do to create currency is to push a fucking button. So why should they be making profit off of this? Yeah. And especially young people. No. I don't think the community should be eating the young in any way. And this is one way to do it. The tax on land, by allowing land price to go up. You didn't make the land. God made the land, you fuckers. Why are you charging young people more for what you didn't make? That's criminal. And plus, the community is pushing the button for currency to pay for what it wants. It wants smart young people. It wants educated young people. And okay, at university, it may not be perfect. There may be some problems, especially if you get useless degrees. But, it was certainly helpful to me in thinking. And while I I accepted that it couldn't be as bad as it was. That was my mistake. It was. The lies were through and through. Science has been hijacked. They won't talk about what they should talk about. They're talking about crazy stuff, really, that they can't talk about according to modern science. Too many people are in the statistical sciences, in the observational sciences, and not enough people in the hard sciences. That hard science thinking is required. That would have saved us all of this COVID-19 nonsense if we had hard science thinking. And so now we're into soft sciences. They're including that in STEM, and it should not be. It should be the hard sciences. And in this, I exclude my main science, which is metaphysics, but I do include another one of my sciences, which is logic. And so logic and mathematics are in the hard sciences. And, physics, chemistry, most of biology, these are hard sciences. These are experimental sciences. Except, of course, mathematics and logic, which are not. Anyway, I agree with you on that. Milking knowledge, yeah. And it's young people, yeah. Yeah, that's right. No, a communist chick. Aren't they all? I think they all are. This is a group dynamics of women. It's communistic. They have a communistic group dynamics. Everyone's included. And then if we don't like you, we'll just, make you feel bad and shut up over there in the corner. But you're still in the group. Don't leave. We still want you here. You're just going to shut up. Whereas with men, it's, you're cooperative and productive. And if you ain't cooperative and productive, get the fuck out and go find someone else. If you don't like it here, go out and find somebody else anyway. Got deleted? What? I don't quite understand deleted. Your channel got deleted? Your video got deleted? And when was this? There are ways. Yeah. Me love Chairman. Wow. Yeah. God, how funny. That's funny. My God. Again, part of the problem may be you may be making fun of the way they speak. And God forbid you do that in Canada with the French. Actually, we used to do it ritually and nobody minded. It was funny. The French accent on English, it's not bad. It's sort of nice. Why do you make fun of my accent? I'm not here for your amusement. Yeah, okay. We get it. Louis. Me love German. Wow. I like that. Yeah. No, this is, but if it's just making fun, then you can see why the SJWs at Google are going to wipe it out. Right? What did they wipe out today? We did a test, or was it last night? Somebody said Roman women. Somebody tried to type in the chat, Roman women would throw unwanted babies into their bath water or into their bath drains of their bathhouses. And that got censored. Is it going to get censored today? Why don't we try it? 1. Here it goes. 2. Roman women threw their unwanted babies into the drains of their bath houses. Just saying 3. There. So,
Yeah, okay, so I got it up there. I missed that $5 RUVU long time. I missed that music. I just did not get that. Susan Wojcicki is a sad, ugly bitch. That seemed to come out. Are you serious, Eggy? 2 is not there? Those bastards. They did it again. A historical, apparently fact. Roman women threw their unwanted babies into the drains of their bathhouses. Just saying. You know, that's what I wrote. Yeah, so it's gone. My God, they did it again today. What is this? What is this? Eventually you're not going to be able to think any thought that they don't allow you to think. We're testing it out. These people, yeah, no, it's there. Here, hold on. So I can put that up here. Sorry, multitasking and linguistic tasks. Yeah. And we'll put it up here. There we go. So it's right there. So this is what I saw. Up at the top, here it goes. Sorry, I wrote is, but here it goes. And then number 2, there's what I typed in. And then number 3, did we compute? So it's right there. Look at that. It's there. I see it. I typed it in. And they censored the thing. Look at it. These people are bastards. They are absolute bastards. Yeah. So, okay, what do you want me to type, Johnny? I'll type it in. Let me know. Try to insult China. Let me get back to the right page here. What? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what. Oh, Johnny. Yeah. Well, you can do it yourself, but that's. I'll put the link in again. We're running a little funny now, but for anyone who wants to put something in the, I got the egg foo dung. You're being seriously censored right now. Jesus, Eggy. I'm sorry about that. I see Eggy Noggy. 1, I like beef, and then 3, meow mix, please deliver. I don't see it too. My Chinese friend is called One Big Pong. One Big Pong. I don't know about that. No, I don't like the censorship. And again, if you want me to try to put something in, I got the wrench and stuff, Johnny. Send it to me in upsidedowntext.com and put it in there, and I'll write it up and we'll put it in. No, that's crazy, Eggy Noggy. If you want to put it in upside down text, I'll put it right side up and see if I can do it. But no, I just got censored. You saw it. Holy shit! They
censored me on my own fucking channel. Oh my! And I'm just putting in, you know, historical, contention. If it's not a fact, it's a contention. I suppose it's supportable. My God, they do it today. You know, some women go into, public toilets and give birth. It happens even today. Chinese porn star, one long dong. Yeah, I know. My God, it's funny. Yeah, it's good. No way. Let me try it here. One. One. Whoa. Jeez, I almost crashed the whole system. One. Let's go to. Let me get it here. Okay, you see it? I put it up. 1, 2, 3. No, I got your upside down text, Eggy. I got your upside down text. There, so I wrote it out there, Eggy. 1, 2, 3, with your statement in the middle. Did you get it? No, 2. Get out of here. Okay. Let me try it again. 1. Let's go again. 2. Okay, here's another one. So I did another one. Let's go again. And can you read it? Can you read number 2? Oh, well, we got to be fair now. Number 2 was men totally suck. I feel like I'm on some sort of quiz show. What does Google censor today? And for 20 points, number 2 is men totally suck. Okay, let's do another one here. Third time lucky. Okay. Okay, I did another one here. Did anyone see number 2? So third time lucky, number 2, and then haha. Yeah, okay. Eggy, we got it. We got 2 and 3 here. So, ass and boobies, tits galore. Yep. So, it's letting you use the words, but then if you say something like men totally suck or women totally suck, it won't let you. And, but what about my last one? Third time lucky. Here, I'll put it up. Yeah, Johnny, we got that one. And so let me put this up here. So I put up another one on the screen now. We got Monk Musics. China is responsible for crap copies of good products. That's up there. Johnny Midnight's I Aborted a White Boy. That made it up. But Women Totally Suck doesn't, but I Aborted a White Boy does. What about a black boy? Why don't we try that?
That's right, PJP. We're seeing that. Yeah, I'll say. Okay, you got all three of mine. It's up there. So sucking totally sucks. So we just changed the word sucking from man and woman to something else. I picked a gerund there. So social nouns. Social nouns meaning things like men, women, blacks, whites. But Johnny put in I aborted a white boy. Let me try that, Johnny. I'm going to do something different here. I aborted a white baby. Whoops. I'm gonna put it up in the format test. So, whoops, I did 3 twice. That's okay. Okay. Oh man, women are pathetic. Didn't show up. My God. Did you get my I aborted a white baby? Did that come up? Hey Max J, we're doing some censoring determination. That's why we're writing the nasty things. Yeah, I know, Johnny. I know. Okay, so you saw that. So, okay, so there, I changed it to see whether they're going to pick up that level of sophistication. And women are pathetic didn't go up, and also let me get this one. Women are pathetic. Black people suck balls didn't work. My God Almighty. Yeah. Yeah. Whoops. I'm not testing the N-bomb. Yeah. If I were in a different country, I probably would be able to. Yeah, that's right. I don't know. Did my second one come out there? I aborted a black baby in my test number 2. Did that come out? Yeah, trying to find out whether they'll allow white babies to be aborted but not black. Yeah. If this were a BitChute, yeah, who runs the BitChute stuff? Warhorse had a problem with it once, and I think somebody else did. It's a different system. Yeah, black baby came out. Thanks, MM. Yeah, okay, then it's, abortion's apparently fine. Yeah. Yeah, good. Well, Johnny, I'm glad of that. And there's an attack, and it's ongoing, and if you don't feel bad once in a while, I think there's a fucking problem. If you don't get angry, if you don't feel like you're going crazy, I think there's a problem. You should, but I think they're trying to do it on purpose. They're trying to get everyone on psychiatric pills, just like the movie THX 1138, and then they'll watch you take it. Yeah. You got pederast coming out. So pederasts are good people. Felch came out. Jesus, man. Jesus. Yeah. God. What about this one? Women can be cruel. What about just a very statement, a very loose statement? Can is a very soft word. It means more than 0%. Women can be cruel, which is ultimately true. No one would disagree with that. Yes, sexual deviance is certainly okay, That's what they want. They want the focus on this. They want to control through this. They want to make you feel bad for it. They want to make you need it. This is the manipulation. This is part of it, Yeah, so they're going to allow anything that's degrading and dysfunctional. Oh, that came out. So let's okay. Actually, Aggie, I got black people suck balls coming out. They came out with me. So, Men Are the Best came out. And, so Women Totally Suck didn't come out. So let me try this. One. Here goes the wind. Whoops. See you, Smurf. Yep. So, did number 2 appear? Did number 2 appear? Yep. No problem with abortion. That's it. No problem with abortion or sexual deviance. I know. This is they're trying to condition your brain, because if you're not allowed to say it, eventually you stop saying it, eventually you stop thinking it, and no number 2. I wrote women can totally suck. They won't even allow a can in there, like it's possible to. They won't allow the possibility that women can totally suck. Oh my God. Oh my. George Floyd was a criminal. Yes, he was. He wasn't an angel. Yep. No, the nasty words all come out, Aggie. They don't care about that now. They're trying to protect the possibility that women cannot ever totally suck. So you can't make statements that even hint at the possibility that a member of a class or a class itself has members. It's not even womanhood. I think I'm going to try to. Nice one, MM. Women are really fill in the blank. Maybe they'll censor that too. Yes, BJP. That's it exactly. It's not your words. It's what you're thinking. That's why they won't let me even think of the possibility that women can totally think. They don't want to allow that possibility to be formed and to be out there. This is massive cognitive engineering. It's massive because they're doing it on a massive scale.
Men have been disempowered, Johnny. You're not the only one. And, you learn from the past, but don't carry it with you. And if you want to change that, you've got to make a value. Do I have kids? Yeah, I got kids. I am 4 times. 4 times. And where I am, it's a different matter. It's safe. Safe for me. I mean, it's not safe for them. And I got a at times a mad household. But they, I do my stuff and they leave me alone, and then they don't leave me alone, and then they leave me alone, and then they don't leave me alone. So, but they're getting old. 2 are adults now, and 2 are not. I don't know whether I'll make it. I was a little bit late. I was a little bit old. To have, I didn't start until I was 35. So, after I escaped the West. Yes, and Canada was not a good place to do that. And that's why I didn't do it there. And I didn't mean to come here and do it. In fact, I was in a lot of countries before I landed in this one. But it was different here. It just sort of happened. And then they needed legal protection, so I gave them that. And they're okay. So, yeah, no, it's still relatively normal. In fact, we basically rode out the whole COVID-19 thing. Things are getting back to normal everywhere in the country, but we were in a normal place. You saw a few people with masks, and, in the nearby town, they had to wear a mask to go into the bank. My God, it just doesn't sound right. And shit like that. But no, this is, I don't hide it, Aggie. I'm surprised, I guess, I've talked about it a number of times on the channel. And, I was in 1985. I was a monk because I felt afraid to have women manipulate me and take half my stuff. And I had stuff back then when I was young. And I said, I'm not doing that. It happened to men in my family and friends of the family, and I saw their wealth go. I saw their lifestyle go. And I saw, them separated from their kids, and they didn't want to be, and I saw all sorts of stuff I didn't like, horrible stuff. And then I saw, the fish bicycle thing. Yeah. And, no, I got out, and I got, this was way back when, and then the next thing I know, I find Mgtow, and then I find Zed the Zen Priest's writings, and he described my fucking life. Yeah. Well, yeah, no, I got stuff, and I have more today, and there's been some movement of where it is, but I'm still, up until this most recent crisis, I thought I'd be able to ride out my life, and now there's some risk involved, so yep. And but as to my impending death and poverty before death, I'm not concerned about that. Right now, I'm living life well, as I hope all men will do in their own way. I was living life well in Canada, not engaging. I didn't do it. I would go to parties, and I would think I had to take a phone number, but I wouldn't call. And I would just pick up my philosophy books and read, and play music, and hang out with friends, and play poker, and enjoy life. And other men were trying to get together with women, and they would look at me askance. And so today, these men are divorced, and I'm not. It's like an upside down fucking life for me. Anyway, but it was my thinking about it, my making some choices based upon what I saw. And so that's what I encourage men to do. I wish I knew then what I know now. Holy shit, yeah. Okay, I didn't. But I would have felt a lot better about things. But now we know. Young men know. Old men are telling them. They're telling them the laws are nuts. The women are nuts. They're blue hair, they're tattooed, they're hypergamous, they're gynocentric, all of this bullshit. And the laws will eviscerate you. They don't care. The judges don't care. They won't even fucking listen to you. They got the silver bullet. Oh, he made me feel afraid. Did he ever hit you? No, but he made me feel like he might. Okay, coercive control. You didn't give her money. Okay, she gets the kids. She gets the house. You get to pay for the rest of your fucking life. This was happening and beginning to happen when I was young. I remember Anita Hill in 1991, and I'm saying, it's a he said, she said. What the fuck? He says no, she says yes. Why are we fucking talking about this? That's it? Nobody else supporting this? Go to fucking hell, you bitch. That's what I see now. Then I sort of taken it half serious. Now I wouldn't at all. Yeah. So, yeah, the insanity started way back then, and it's just gotten worse. It's like multiplied by 10. I can't imagine a young man trying to navigate a path without having Mgtow today. He would drive himself absolutely nuts. And I'm wondering whether myself, today, wandering around there, wondering what the fuck is going on, I'm hoping he'll find Mgtow. And I'm hoping that he'll learn. And hoping that he'll be confident with his choices and himself and discover what he wants and how he's going to get what he wants. And put a lot of irons in the fire. And maybe he'll get it and maybe he won't. But not to sacrifice himself for no value. And some men make it out in the West. I know that. It's not a 100% one way or the other. But the numbers tell us that most men don't, by far. They just don't make it out. They don't make it out with the life that they expected to go in with, so make a different life. And the downside is a horrible downside. It's a destructive, life-destroying downside. So, this is an awareness of the manipulation and violence. I went through that way back when, and there's not many who can say that. I got smart and lucky, and that's it. There's other men who were smarter than I was. They saw it, actually. They saw it and were able to vocalize it way back then. I wasn't able to vocalize it. I wasn't thinking about it. I just said, it seems not good. I'm not going to do it. Just, let me read my David Hume. Let me read my Immanuel Kant. At Berkeley, I was into the empiricists. And then I got into the idealists. There's no question. I got into them. Hegel. I loved Hegel. Hegel, I think, is still the greatest. And, they've stolen his dialectic. Okay. But that's not the sum total of his thought at all. I couldn't imagine the conspiracists ripping down statues of Hegel because, the powers that be, the deep, dark forces, use his Hegelian dialectic in some fashion, problem, reaction, solution, to dominate and control the world. No, that's a minor part of his thought. A very powerful, very interesting, but it's a minor part. That particular aspect. His thesis, antithesis, synthesis is more important. Yeah. Yes, that's right, Eggy Nuggy. Yeah. And so, and none of us can, right? None of us can. You have a vision, and this is the artistic vision. This is the holistic vision. You get a sense of it, and maybe it's right, and maybe it's wrong, but sometimes it's dead on. Somebody picked this. I don't know where, I don't know when. We'll find out. Somebody picked this. There was that novel by Dean Koontz, about the Wuhan flu. You know, he seemed to pick some of it, right? He's one of those crazy guys. He's a great writer, and obviously he found his calling. He knows what he should do, and he's you know he's in the right place. Yep. Yep. No, it's a dive down. It's a dive down. You realize things have been gutted. But it's on purpose, right? It is the manipulation and violence of the system to dispose of men. You know, to find out, cull the herd. I don't know what in the hell they're doing, but this is not good. And so, but yeah, see the future. Yep. And whether we can all see like in the future, like 1 second or 2 seconds, and then 1 minute and 2 minutes, 1 day, 2 days, and so on and so on. And these are the this is how we can navigate it. And the better you are at predicting, and what you can't predict, you put a risk valuation on it, and either accept the risk or avoid the risk. If the benefit's great, maybe you take the risk. If the benefit's not so good, maybe you don't. But are you going to stake your whole life on it? Well, don't do that. Oh, God, no. And so that's why joining the military now is not a wise choice, because you're staking your life that it's good to invade this country to foment a regime change and give corporations lots of money. I don't think that Smedley Butler back in the 30s would approve of it, and didn't, and nor would he approve today. This is turning soldiers into mercenaries. It's not good. So you can see the future. And you can live with yourself killing someone to defend the community, but it's much harder to live with yourself killing someone for money. If you're not a psychopath. Yeah. Yeah. You avoid hazards, yeah. Yeah. You avoid hazards. Hazard is a clear risk that's going to eventuate, I think. You can see it's going to happen. Maybe not to, you walk under a ladder, there's a hazard, maybe. Something could fall off of it. You don't know when, you don't know why. So, why there's no benefit to walking under the ladder where you can just walk around it. There's a hazard. Avoid it. But there's other things. There's loss, right? The risk eventuating is a loss, and sometimes you can't see it. You can just imagine that there is going to be a loss. Yep. So, holy shit, Bad Max! I missed that comment. Oh my God. Yeah. No, I hate you, con people. Come on, raise your voice. Come on, what's wrong with you? I'm not going to raise my voice. I'm just disappointed in how you're acting. What the fuck you mean? That is a strategic strategic angle. I'm Italian in some way. I think somewhere back in the line. I like the fiery nature. I like to release it. I got to release it. You piss me off, I release it, and then I'm fine. I just have to release it, or I get physically sick, to tell you the truth. But everyone's different. If you can direct the anger, not in, say, a raised voice or something like that, but in another way, and get rid of it, oh, by all means, do it. But most people gotta vent a bit or something. I gotta vent, rant and vent. I think I ranted last night on those idiots in the Supreme Court throwing men under the bus and saying it's okay to make a man a slave. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. It's never okay to make a man a slave. The slave has the absolute right to kill you and anyone that helps you to gain his freedom. Anyone. And all of them. Until he is free. If you think it's not, then you're my slave. Get over here and be my slave, you fucking idiot. Yep. That's right. No.
you gotta take a risk. There's sharks. Sharks can go into any waters of the ocean, anywhere. And but I think if you stay, basically within, with your feet on the sand, that sharks won't go in that shallow. And if they do, okay, I'm gone. But I think the risk is so low then. Surfing's a different matter. They go out into that depth, but you see it once in a while from the helicopter view. But yes, a shark is a hazard 24/7, 365. And that's what it is. Women are now sharks. Hello? I don't like the way you said it. Did you interact with her? Yes, I did. Okay, you're fired. Bye. But I didn't say anything bad. She said you did. Out. Yep. 24/7, 365. Hazard. What's the risk? I don't know what the number is, but there's a lot of men now not working in cities. They know what's happening. They're leaving the cities. This is just, maybe this whole thing about working from home is a way to protect men. All interactions are now recorded. All interactions are auditable. And that's it. So maybe this is a way to protect men. My God, you see how things happen, and men don't mind. Holy shit, you mean I don't have to go in and interact face-to-face with those bitches? Oh yeah, I'll do that. And, women, I don't know whether they like it or not. Maybe they do, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jesus. Yeah, arguing facts. If you're arguing facts, I don't think I get upset arguing facts. But if somebody, slights me or something, maybe I get emotionally upset. But an argument, holy fuck, cool as a cucumber. Yeah. Even if it's, the subject matter, sort of an emotional subject matter, you look at the argument. You find out whether it's valid and then sound. Yeah. And if it is valid and not sound, and people are treating it like it's sound, okay, then I might get upset. Like, it's not a sound argument. I'm not going to hold to that conclusion at all. It may be valid, but it's not sound. I'm not following that conclusion. I'm going to say I'm pretty good with arguments. I studied it for a fair amount at university. It wasn't my major, but I did very well in it. I'm an A+ student in logic and taught it. Had to do a course at university. Not the whole thing, but part of it, when the professor went off on a bit of a mental health hiatus. Oh my fuck! But he's a great man, and he had a double major, a PhD in mathematics and a PhD in Buddhist philosophy. He was a great guy, but he would go out. He went over the edge and he dabbled there, and. Yep. And, I was very gentle. I was very gentle with that man, as he should be handled that way, and, a gift to the world. Anyway, there's no argument, there's no emotion in arguments. Yeah, well, if it's online, well, you're fine. It's all recorded. So maybe this is a step ahead for men to remain safe from the manipulation and the violence within the corporate system, at least. I want to work from home. Is that okay? I don't mind having a one boss as long as I'm working from home. We go back and forth. It's all recorded. That's it. You got time to think. And in the meeting, just things get heated. You say, whoops, my internet just went out. I'm having internet trouble. So, there may be a future now in the corporate world for men. Men were concerned about this. Maybe this is a solution to it.
My God, talk about a conspiracy theory. The answer to Me Too is COVID-19. Ouch. Get the men out of the offices. Get the men away from the women. Yeah, now we see the violence inherent in the system. You're oppressing me. You're oppressing me. Yeah. No, that movie. My God. It's a good thing I watched it a number of times because it's just coming back in so many ways. Yeah. My God. Oh, Canada, our alcoholic home. Yeah, well, Snap. Anyone? Snap? Snap? Yeah, okay then. We got it. So, going over the edge is not good. And, we have so many women, they do it to themselves, right? They're holding, contradictory positions at the same time. It drives them nuts. And, oh my God. Yeah, my God. I was attacked by some keep left signs. Man, that's funny. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, the next thing they're going to do is they're going to ban the go right signs. You can't have any go right signs anywhere because that's oppressive. They'll have to restructure all the roads in the cities to prevent anyone from having to turn right. No right turns in any cities. God, that's funny. Can't go right. Gotta go left. But yeah, no, the left. Yeah, maybe we should. And people are trying to do this. They're trying to separate the word liberal from left. Because classical liberals are not left. They're right and left and center. And classical liberals are classical liberals. But yeah, the left has been hijacked by fascists. I think everyone can agree with that. Communistic fascist types, absolute authoritarians. And the right has authoritarian edges, right? You can become a right authoritarian. But these people generally are really nasty and nobody likes them. But the left authoritarians, they're worse because they want to be do-goodery, so they mask everything in do-goodery. We got to help the people at the bottom. But they don't. They just abuse them. Yeah. Yeah, everyone will have to drive on the left-hand side of the road. Isn't that where you drive now? Don't you drive on the left? Where the hell do you drive in Canada? On the left or right? I think it's on the right. Well, that's going to have to change. Nobody drives on the right. Nobody turns right. They're just going to remove the right-hand turning signal from all cars. Don't even have it. No signs. No lights. That's it. Left only. There's one way to go and it's left. And if you say women totally suck or women can, it's going to be censored. We will censor. Men totally suck? Well, they do at times. Come on, let's be honest. But then, at other times, they're great. I wonder if that's going to get censored. Women are totally great. Women are totally great. Is that there? Does that appear? I think it probably does, right? So, maybe we'll just have to invert the language. Great means sucks, and sucks means great. To get around the censors. They can't stop it. They'll never win. They will not win. So, what about this one? Women are totally great, comma, not. What about that? Does that appear? Women are totally great, not. And what about women are not totally great? You know, in some way, I think we have to do a more thorough test on the algorithm for censorship to find out the boundaries of what they're trying to do. I think BJP hit the nail on the head a number of times, and other people, on what they are trying to do, what they don't want people to think. They're trying to engineer your thoughts. This is cognitive engineering. This is despicable. This is evil. Absolutely evil. Why did these people buy YouTube? Just to be evil? They are looking for more ways to be evil. My God, why doesn't somebody do something? They're registered in the U.S. Get rid of it. And, once it gets thrown out of the U.S., something else will suck up into the vacuum, and hopefully they'll be decent human beings. Because the people at Google are not decent human beings to do this. They are evil. So, yield to the left, unless you're a SJW. Then slowly merge. Yes, that is a long-ass sign. Yeah. I think most people just ignore it and stay off the fucking road. If there's lefties there, it's probably going to be bad news eventually. Anyway, with that, I think we're going to end the stream. It was been great up with you men, and I think we had a good discussion. We discovered that we're being censored. We've discovered that that men are still under attack and suffering from past attacks, and that ultimately we're not going to be free of this until we're free of it. And that may not be for some time. So thanks, Ben, and take care. Remember, Mgtow will plenty in 2020.